Blues Clues today, fellas. Back to bulldogging.
Beats by the bird.
Yo. Smash that like button.
Now I got business in Canada. And I always been advanced, but back in the day did an amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, no better you call me a janitor. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. And I always been advanced, but back in the day did an amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, no better yet call me a janitor. Started back when I was young, when I got addicted to guns. Older brothers had money, so I had to go get me some. Came up in the hood, all I know is Section 8 and free lunch. I never had money, now my pockets is bigger than pun. And everywhere I go, I was eating like a cannibal, getting my shit straight up off a boat. Bitch, I'm doing the impossible, and I've been through hella obstacles, taking trips to places tropical, cause I couldn't do it a while ago. Now I'm going where I wanna go. Now I got keys, yeah, just like Alicia, but Rebel be popping his piece. Do it with ease, yeah. Feel like I'm Curry when that nigga shooting the three. I got the 30, aka call it Curry. You can get the Stephen Curry's, yeah. I can move it in a hurry, yeah. You don't get it cause you scurry, yeah. I be getting all this work. Now I got business in Canada. And I always been advanced, but back in the day did an amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, no better you call me a janitor. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. And I always been advanced, but back in the day did an amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, no better yet call me a janitor. All I wanna do is work, cause I came up from the dirt. Never thought that it would work, didn't think it would get worse. But I need my money first, I don't care about a hearse. Seen death plenty times, that's why I be shooting first. I was moving, selling drugs, I ain't thinking about no plug. Never really gave a fuck, I ain't got no one to trust. My daughter is my only love, fucking with her you get snubbed. Fake people showing love, but where were them when I was down on my luck? Back then, they wasn't on me, now they on me. But y'all didn't help me get here, I did this by my lonely. Yeah, I'm trying to get money and I don't give a fuck about niggas saved. And I can tell you niggas broke, I know you ain't getting anything. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. And I always been advanced, but back in the day did an amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, no better you call me a janitor. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. And I always been a vet, but back in the day to the amateur. Cause if you tired of getting money, you need to go work on your stamina. So Alicia with these keys, or better yet call me a janitor. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. So Alicia with these keys, or better yet call me a janitor. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. I be getting all this work, now I got business in Canada. So Alicia with these keys, or better yet call me a janitor.
You better have that work. What up, man? What up, Bulldoggers in the building? What up? Let's get it in. I see my volume. What up, Dez? What up? Paul Harris, what up? Caveman, salute to you. Bank statement, what up, my brother? Prophet Swamper, what up? Lot Boy, what up, fellas? What is going on today? You know how we gotta get up here and get it in. Let's go. Wake and bake, hit the like button. You know what we do. I had to stretch it out. I want 100. I want to do it 100. And then magazine. You know, I want to drop the magazine after 100, right? Some kind of way. Even if we got to do 2 wake and bakes back to back and then drop the magazine, you know what I'm saying? I'll do a 30-minute wake and bake, turn it off, do another wake and bake, drop the motherfucking magazine. So as you see, we here. We at 98. By the time you see 100, you know, or right after that, after we do 100, either on 100 or after 100, that magazine will be out. You dig? That's all you need to know. You don't need to ask me when. You don't need to. Everything is calculated on a schedule. You dig? There's 98 of these things right now. Since the mag dropped, the 98 wake and bakes. You know, that's what the support is for. Right? It's for the hard work and the dedication. Getting up here, spitting that real game, you know, letting you guys know what it is from a you know, just a different point of view, you know. Giving you guys the ins and the outs. I'm letting you know what's out here before you get out there, right? So you can better arm yourself with the tools to be able to protect yourself and these dogs for generations to come. You dig? Appreciate everybody in the building. Hey, take advantage. I put a couple stud offers up there. Cracking kennels, still growing, new expansion. Yeah, we're gonna start popping up. You're gonna start seeing us popping up different spots. You know, there's stuff pretty much spread out. So if you guys want to take advantage of any of these studs, some of them, it ain't no cash till, you know, after the summertime, you know, deals like that, puppy deals, you know, different stuff. Just take advantage. That's what I will say. They're there for limited time and availability, and, you know, to serve a purpose, to kind of get out there, serve the people with good dogs, different lineage, you know, just from a few different animals, man. You know, the musician, what up, man? I need that interview, musician. We waiting on that. We need that. We need that. We need to know about them Bolio dogs. Let's set that up. Yeah, you see the title, man. Novice Breeder Awareness Month. That's what we doing today. I think it's a good one. It's a good one. You know, and that's what it had to be back in the day. There's no need for us to change now. You know, we watched out for these type of guys. We watched out for inexperience, you know, because sometimes, not all the time, that very same inexperience can get you, you know, allegedly your dick knocked off. You know, in the long run, you coming out here with these half-assed dogs from dudes that, you know, they really don't know. I'm talking to a good guy, one of my good friends, man. You know, one of my better friends in the dogs. And I think he probably listening. It was funny as hell. You know, when I'm explaining breeding and shit, you know, we was on the phone talking shit, couple bloodlines that, you know, that we see up here on YouTube and people talking about these bloodlines. And I couldn't take anymore. Sometimes I've had it up to here, right? I just couldn't take it anymore, man. Sometimes I'd be so humble, but sometimes I just bust out and just tell it like it is. Like, wait a minute, man. You know, it's a lot of fabrication going on, right? These YouTube channels, I get it. It's the news. We're the media. We serve as the media now, right? Hey, I love it. I'm a part of it. You know, I love it. But there's a lot of novice shit going on. So make sure you guys get in the right circles. That's all I should say. It matter if you're doing anything, you know, if we're not doing anything with the dogs, but we still want the right dogs. We still don't want the ones that are just here by default. You know, we want the ones that are here for a reason, for a purpose, right? So we get it in, man. Yeah, take advantage, man. That little haystack, he's probably the one that's ready to go right now. You know, if you got something, you in the Carolina area, East Coast, you know, whatever, tap in. Cracking kennels, it ain't that hard. You could hit me up, get the numbers, and you know, we could figure some stuff out. Excellent bred animal, right? You know, if you're looking to acquire some of that and put it in your repertoire, then I would advise you to move fast. That's all I can say. QA Bentley, what up, man? Big Saul, salute. Salute my brothers. You know how we do, man. It's another beautiful day. Salute to Beer and Bulldogs too, man. Salute, man. We got one in yesterday. I cat's out the bag. You know, we got one in yesterday. I don't know when it's gonna drop. You know, maybe today, maybe in a week or two. You know, I don't know how he does it. But we got a good one in. I don't remember how long it was. You know, maybe a little over an hour, maybe. Talked about a bunch of stuff. You know, different things. Just that different type of conversation. You know how we do, man. Lot boy, what up, man?
What's going on, man? You know, I'm just taking this boy to the vet right now. Just leaving the vet, man. Say hey, Turbo.
Oh yeah, what
Hey,
happened?
Turbo.
Was it just a little wellness checkup or something?
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Just
Okay.
really going back to get some more shots. I waited too late. Later, so I got to come back again.
Oh
Just
yeah. Okay.
just
So
taking him there,
you don't
getting
like
his
doing
little.
your own shots, huh?
Well, I do it my own, so I do it my own. But really, I went to go get his rabies and stuff, and they gave him some little boosters and stuff like that. So I was came back, gave it to him. But yeah, I did my own shots when I first got him. When he first came, I went out to my little feed store, and they hooked me up.
Okay, I got you.
I came home and
Salute
took care
from
of my boy, but I
Hoodwoods.
got him
Salute
little
from
rabies
Hoodwoods.
shots and
Thompson,
stuff.
my brother from another. What up, brother? You know how we do, man. We just
Salute,
talking
salute.
shit, swallowing spit, bro. You know, it ain't
From
nothing.
a
We
hoodwood
ain't lifting
to a
nothing heavy
city
today,
near
bro.
you.
You know what I'm
From
saying?
a hoodwood to a
I could do
city
this,
near you.
in the back of the class throwing spitballs and shit, tripping motherfuckers and shit,
Get a
Motherfucker walk
big
by,
swat
try
right
to
in the back of
sharpen
the
his
neck.
pencil,
But yeah, man, I
his
just came
ass,
up here to chop it up with y'all boys, man. I'm running around and taking care of business and shit. But I will be listening though. Salute to all my brothers. Y'all keep bulldogging. Two
Oh
more from
yeah, man.
100. We
Hey,
coming.
Turbo getting
Y'all
bigger.
just relax. Oh yeah, man.
Man,
The motherfucker back here, man. He don't like that
let's
car
get that
ride, but he doing okay.
let's get that little haystack bread, man. I like to see him getting bread this week or next week, or you know what I'm saying. Let's put it together, fellas, in the chat. I know there's a lot of guys on the East Coast. We're looking to hook him with a lot of Garner shit. I really want to tap into that. I really want to see what those genetics are and just kind of break it down for what it is and maybe we could kind of get to the bottom of some of those genetics and maybe do a chase for some of those good dogs in that bloodline, because there's good dogs in every line. If you hear me talk about the Tom Garner subject, or anything about his yard or anything, it's never about the actual quality of the animals. It's just the curiosity as to what am I actually gonna get. It's like, because maybe somebody can decode everything, and what I'm saying, you got 1 million dogs, you done bred a lot of dogs, and maybe you can just be like, okay, well, this strain and this strain right here, this is the exact, the best. I get the mirror, it's a mirror image of what I put in is what I get out. And maybe you got it like that, but to me, it just seems like, see, I never figured out one of them little Rubik's cubes, right? My son could do it quick, right? So if you can decode and remember all that info and traits and everything, it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's the only thing I got for that is it's been bred a lot of times with what comes with success. You wake up tomorrow and you're the top breeder, the top 5 breeders. Shit, you're gonna be selling a lot of pups. You're gonna be doing a lot of breeding. It's gonna be a whole lot of motion. You probably ain't gonna have no time to be on here waking and baking and shit, right? I get it. I get it. Oh yeah, now it's my son's birthday too. Oh, no matter of fact, my son's birthday is tomorrow. His birthday's tomorrow. My bad.
That's our nephew.
My bad. See, I'm a bad dad, man. My son's fucking birthday tomorrow.
Stop it.
Damn it. Damn it, Swamper, man.
Don't give these stone lickers anything more to talk
Prophet,
about, bro.
Man. I done forgot my own kid's birthday, man. Damn.
They ain't even tire kickers no more. They pick up
Blood
stones,
thirst.
lick them, and just throw them.
RBG. Salute everybody in the building.
Team cracking.
Yeah, team cracking. We cracking, man. Welch, what up? You know how we do.
You like my new Michael Myers avatar in the chat? You hear me, Buck?
You said what about it?
That's how you look.
Yeah, that shit chopped up. I couldn't hear a word you said.
That's the you see that new avatar I got on the chat with the mic?
Oh yeah, I see that. I see that.
We gotta throw it in their face.
Man, when I see that.
Yeah, we had to throw it in their face. They need to see some more of that shit. But
yeah, man, it's novice breeder awareness. And this is important because, like I said, if I would have went when I first got in this game, if I had dealt with a novice breeder first time around, let's just say, first time around, you fuck with a novice breeder, I probably wouldn't be in the game right now. I probably wouldn't have had those good dogs that I had, and to really open up my eyes to where, like, wait a minute, I'm really on to something. Maybe, let me keep this around. This is such a great thing. Let me keep this around for 25 more years. Maybe I just wouldn't have that type of energy, right? Because a lot of times when you deal with novice breeders, you get shit that's not, like, they don't even know what they're gonna get. That I think that's a huge thing, like you're the one breeding it, and you don't even know what you're gonna get out of the dogs, right? It's crazy work, man. Crazy work. Vito, what up, brother?
Honestly, Buck, I don't know. The way you study the shit, though, you would have figured it out.
Nah, not back then. Because back then, them dogs got put in my lap.
Yeah.
See how I do and how I guide people? They send me pedigrees. I like it. Hey, which way should I go with this? Hey, different shit like that. Even some of your favorite dog, man, call me. Hey, what do you think about this? I didn't have that intuition back then. You feel me?
Yeah.
I had a partner that did and still does, It's like one of your boys, he was way up here, then you catch up after a while. After years you hanging around a motherfucker, you catch up,
You get ganged up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, some of those players that played on the Warriors and shit, they're hella good shooters, right? If they would have went to another team to where maybe they're not used like that, or they don't have shooting generals and shit out there, really shooting that ball, working on shit to where you can actually watch them,
Yeah.
you don't become that great shooter, right? If you don't
100.
got that, right? So
100.
I ain't trying to get people up out of this shit, but I think it's levels to this. And a part of the level is keeping your shit and finding out what it is. We always talk about this and it gets swept under the rug. We always go from one extreme to the next extreme, right? It's never medium ground to where we can just kind of troubleshoot it and figure it out. But it's like, you're going to breed the dog, keep the dogs. It's your first 5 breedings. Keep them around. Don't be so eager to sell shit to somebody, especially new guys, right? Because they're going to probably have a bad experience. You're probably going to get some dogs that's probably not going to be your best work, right? When you're breeding dogs and you're selling things to the public and you're building your brand, I always talk about branding. You wanna put out your best work, bro. I don't want to just put out shit. Like, you want to put out your best work. I think that matters more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
Because that breeding could be your last. We got to look at it like that. That breeding that you just did yesterday or the day before, that could be your last breeding. Could be your first and your last. Right? Raleigh Shirt Company, what up, brother?
I've seen a lot of failure too through my friends, bro. And then the only person I seen make some real great dogs was my uncle. And that's the only person. Anything I learned from him worked. Anything I learned from my friends, I swear to God, did not work. So yeah, levels to this shit.
Hey, say that. Talk about that. Because I don't think they heard you, man.
I said, the only person I learned this shit. Well, let me start again. I said, I learned some shit from my boys, but the shit I learned from my boys never worked. The only shit that worked was the shit that my uncle taught me. And yes, it's levels to this shit because I've seen dogs that were born from dogs that were great that didn't work at all. But every puppy my uncle dropped worked. Every single one, bro. And he used to wait 2 years before he even put them out. And I asked him why. He said, you're not going to know what these dogs do till they're adults. My friends used to just come, oh, she's 6 months. She's having her heat. Man, I'm about to breed. I'm like, nah, dog, you about to fuck up your whole program. No, I know what I'm doing. Okay. You can't learn from a dummy.
Right. Well, when you raise a whole litter, you do a breeding. Let's say you own both parents, or maybe you don't own one of them. Maybe you do. When you breed those dogs, let's say you got 7 puppies, right? You keep them. You only got 5 chain spots. You put 2 at your cousin's house, right? So you got 5 on your yard, 2 around the corner. You are actually able to analyze those dogs on another level right now, right? There's a lot of people don't do that, right? A lot of people, they get a dog. You say, hey, what's the first 3 breedings? Okay, this, and this. Okay, how many of those dogs do you have around? Most guys don't got shit around from that dog. It used to be a thing to when I breed my dog, or I won't even let nobody breed to my dog until I get the first offspring off of him. right? I want the first offspring off of him. I'm not gonna let somebody else have offspring off of my dog that's older than the offspring that I got, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing. That was a thing. And it's, it's a lost art. Constant pressure. What up, brother?
Hey, what's up with it, brother? It's your
Oh, man,
birthday?
what's up, man? I'm smoking it good, man. The sun's out.
It's nephew birthday.
It's early. It's 6:30
Oh, okay.
and the sun is out
Yeah, yeah.
already. Bro,
Yes,
look,
sir.
A little Buck
I'm feeling
birthday
real
coming up.
good right now, man. Real
For
deal.
sure. Shoot, I celebrated mine yesterday, man. So
Oh, that
Hey, bro, I
birthday.
love what you're doing, fam. I love
appreciate it.
what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Fam.
Now, happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate
June,
it, brother.
it's a good month. It's a good
Love.
month right here,
Yeah, Gemini season, baby.
Happy
Yeah, I
birthday to
got a
Lock Boy
daughter.
too.
I got a
His just
daughter,
passed
a
up.
Gemini and a son.
Oh, then she got 10 personalities like me.
Okay, so is June 16th? Is that Gemini too?
I think that's around the cusp where it cut off or somewhere
It's the
around there.
cutoff. Yeah, it's the cutoff.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I got one on the 16th too. Cece's born on the 16th.
Yeah,
So
that's
he'll be 3 years old. It went by
Already.
real quick, man.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
God
I'm back with
bless
my
him,
guy. They
God
made me
bless
leave
him.
my guy, man. I had to leave my dude. He was 10 months old when I went in.
Yeah.
I got out. He was 17 months. So I lost a little bit of that, but I feel like, we all caught back up. Me and Cece,
Yeah.
we
It was
caught back
early
up.
enough to where
Ain't a
it won't
lot
leave
more.
no real scars on him or impressions. Shoot.
Right.
A
You know what I'm
father for
saying?
you.
That was important to me,
For sure.
That's a father for
Sure.
you. You see that? That's a father for you.
No doubt.
Anybody getting upset for being locked up and missing out on their children? That's a father, bro. And he didn't even have a
that shit's
choice.
real.
How about that? Buck ain't even
That
have
shit
a
is
choice.
real. I was always worried about him though. I was like, "Dang, where's Cece? Where's Cece? What's he doing? What's he doing?" Like.
Sure.
But then I get out, and this dude, he might be the toughest one.
Yeah, spitting image of you.
And I'm like, damn, why was I worried about this guy? This guy's got it. Like he's just,
Running
I don't know,
free.
bro. He's something else. He is.
I think he even
For
went
real.
live a couple times for us.
Yeah, buddy. Hard and finished kiddos, man. Hey, salute to you, brother. Hard and finished, man. Putting in that good work. Putting in that good work.
Your
Bub
dog
Johnson, what up?
Big ass heads, brother.
Salute
yeah,
everybody,
man.
Them motherfuckers
So
look
let's
like real
talk about
alligators.
novice breeding, man. Cause I
Yes,
know
sir.
sometimes we because sometimes I say it, I'd be like, just leave people alone and just let people do what they want to do, but at the end of the day, they're clogging up the market too at some point. So if the dogs are getting in the hands of brand new people, now if an old motherfucker buy that shit, you deserve it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You've been in this shit for a long time. You got connections. You know people that got good shit, and you still go out there and buy that bullshit. That's on you. But I gotta understand that there's new dudes that's coming in, and I think they deserve a great dog like my first dog. You know what I'm saying? They deserve some shit that come off of something that's great and something that actually deserves to be bred. In that
For
realm.
sure.
So what's y'all's thoughts about that?
With me, I honestly, it's real. I seen it with my own.
Hey, brother, you might have to turn off your Wi-Fi or something. Try shutting off your Wi-Fi.
Chopping. Yeah, you chopping.
Damn. Let me back out and come back in.
Okay.
All right, bet. Yes, sir. So, man, I feel like even the newcomers deserve to have dogs. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it gets a little, like you said earlier, when the new people don't really even understand what they doing and they trying to do it anyways. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that part gets a little bit weird in the game, and like you just said, man, it's clogging up the game because everybody wants to be breeders, and everybody can't be a point guard. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be a shooting guard. You know what I
Right.
mean? You kind of got to you kind of got to stay in your lane when it comes to every aspect in life, not just these dogs. You know what I mean? Like, You know, a lot of people they just doing it just for the heck of it. You know, just because they homeboys do it or it look good. You know, but man,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it might be because because on Facebook, like I really enjoyed like when my partner, because I was just on Facebook doing my thing, right, and then all of a sudden my partners would send me like groups and shit, right, you know. So I would go in there and I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of amazed. Like I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of breeds, a lot of dogs, and you know what I'm saying? So, it's good to look at, you know, and I think a lot of people just getting in, they look at the pedigrees, like somebody will post a breed and post a pedigree. And that's all it is. It's like, okay, I do a breeding, I drop the litter, I post a pedigree. They don't look at all of the other shit that goes in between that,
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of what it seems like to me, And I'm just saying.
Hey, how I sound now, fellas?
Yeah, you great now. Twan Raw, what up, brother?
Hell yeah. So what I was saying was I've seen great dogs drop pups that was curd out, and I've seen amazing dogs just keep dropping amazing dogs. And for instance, they're like the ones my uncle did have, them dogs was smart as fuck. Not only smart, but they had one mission, and it was just hunt, hunt, hunt. Versus the other dogs that my friends bred, which they would take just any dog from any person that had a kennel or had some dogs that was good and try to breed them and get shit out of it, like nothing. And I seen how the levels is different, and it is way different because them dogs that's on that next level shit, they're gonna do everything you want them to do. Versus them dogs that you don't know shit about, just throw them in there just because the pedigree look good, and then you get something that you upset about, and it ruined your whole program. I've seen it a million times.
Mike Dan, salute.
Yes, sir. OG
Salute.
Mike Dan.
All the brothers in the building.
yep. On top of that, a lot of it is contributed to the upbringing of those dogs. You know what I
Yes, sir.
mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like you said, your uncle, he was keeping all of them and he was watching them after 2 years old. You
Yeah.
know, so that means he had a whole 2 years to be able to develop their mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Develop their bodies. You know what I mean? To just get them to where their minds are where they're supposed to be. You know, a lot of the people that where you when you got puppies.
You faded. You faded.
Damn.
You faded. You was
Hello,
cooking.
can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
was
was
cooking.
cooking.
You faded out.
Yeah,
You there now.
these people who call you up and they just want a puppy, they don't know the process of developing a dog. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Properly, you
mm.
know? So they're not doing the things, they're not giving the dog the proper tools to be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I
Right.
say that, I mean just the simple things like taking the dog off the yard, walking the dog next to where busy street to where he's not spooky. So
Yeah.
Right.
he's been accustomed to everything and he's seen everything. So when you get to the woods and you get on that big board that he's not intimidated. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Uh.
So you know,
Damn. Man, they
Yeah.
trying to
Hey,
turn
you
up
was
the
cooking.
dog.
I got to get the church organ. I'm gonna get the church organ like
Man,
what's his name? Minister
preach.
Jap.
for
Right.
sure.
Preach.
If you in charge of developing them, it's always better than somebody else who really don't understand them dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You
Right.
want
You
to hear
know?
something crazy too? Everybody in the hood used to come and tell me, they'd be like, your uncle's dogs is on the next level. I just used to laugh because I already knew.
Yeah.
I used to see that shit in their yard. I used to laugh at them and be like, man, them ain't them ain't no dogs.
Yeah.
They just leave them on a chain and they just be back and forth barking, barking, barking. Don't take them for walks. Don't take them out. None of that shit.
Yeah. They think that that's supposed to make them hot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Leave them on the chain. Leave
And
them on
it
the
don't.
chain.
It
Make
cur them. All that shit make you know what it remind me of? Do you ever see two dogs, one behind the other side of the window, and they just barking at each other? Then the door open, and then they just start licking on each other.
Yeah, like the
That's what
dog
that shit
behind the
remind me of.
fence, acts up
Yeah,
behind the fence, and then as soon as it get to the other side, there ain't no static.
yeah. You couldn't do that with my uncle's dogs. You
Yeah,
couldn't do that with him. That motherfucker loved hunting. He loved hunting. He used to find a reason to go hunting.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Levels.
it's kind of like I just think you pay your dues, man. That helps you appreciate the game a little bit more. You know, you keep those first litters that you have so you could really see what's going on. There could be a flaw. Just your dog just don't have the speed, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's no way that you could really know that if you're just getting rid of everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there might be one slow one in there. It might be you probably got the quick one, but all other 7 of them was slow as molasses. And
Man.
then you look around, this guy's still doing the same fucking breedings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That lets me know that he's not paying attention to
They not paying
the
attention, bro.
genetics at all.
he
No.
don't
Like
have
if we're
no
looking at the
understanding of.
paperwork or not.
Yeah.
He don't have no understanding moving forward, and that's
Right.
the downfall.
Like
That's the
they
downfall
good.
of these
Let's
They
say
don't
dogs.
they
know
got
how important
everything
that shit
else,
is.
but they just too slow though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They might
Right.
got everything else, but they just too fucking slow.
And then there's
Yeah.
breeders that don't even look at the structure of their animals. They don't look at their temperaments. They don't look at none of that stuff. They just think
Right.
that because it has the name American Pit Bull Terrier, that oh shit, that's the dog of the year. Nah, that shit don't work
Well,
like that.
well, I know one thing is, man, they gonna make it hard. They gonna make it hard to breed these dogs in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Mm.
and honestly, man, I'm always a firm believer of, man, let the breeders be breeders. Those people who've invested their life and dedicated their life to a certain bloodline,
Yes.
who has all these years of hard work and dedication, those should be the people who are allowed to breed these dogs the way that they want to. And the
Yes.
people who don't understand them in the same manner, go buy a dog from one of these top breeders, man. Stop giving all these backyard boogie people this clout, And another thing is, for these people that's just getting in, it looks good, but stop thinking that you're gonna get in and do a breeding and have 10 puppies and sell all 10 puppies. People
It
not
don't work
buying
like that.
dogs like that, bro. These
It
people
don't
are
work like
bulls.
that.
These people are BS. They are not there. They are tire kickers. They are hitting
Yeah.
you up a million
Oh
times
my
to talk
God.
about what they got. They call
Oh
you
my.
just to say,
Bro,
"Oh, I have this blood. I
preach.
have this. I
Oh
have
my
that." They don't even
goodness.
want to buy nothing.
Hey, Concept.
Oh my goodness. He said it. Tire kickers.
How about the people that breed them top tier breeders that get people that fly in from out of town and buy the whole fucking crop?
I mean, I can't be mad at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
well,
can't be mad
well,
at that.
well, let's talk about it.
Those
Because I
people who,
seen I seen that's the death of people's yard too. Those dudes
Ah,
that come in with the bag. Because back in the day, when you like if you had good dogs, everybody would know it. And then that's when people would flock to you and buy up the fucking yard. Like that's how it went back in the day. Nowadays, it's just like, oh fuck, because we don't know. We done scrambled this shit up so much. It's almost like you'd be lucky if you got a guy that actually stayed in his fucking lane instead of
yeah.
just jumping all over the place. Because you can't, just like those Rubik's Cubes, man. If you got it, if the motherfucker's already done and then you just go and scramble that shit up for 5 minutes, unless you know how to do them motherfuckers, you're not gonna decode that joint. Am I right?
100%.
all
I
the
ain't
way.
never did one. I'm 40-something years old. I ain't never did one. My son could do one. I ain't never did one in my life. I never got more than like two sides. You
Yeah.
feel me? So if you gonna scramble this shit up, it's just like the bloodlines and traits. Because
Yeah,
you're not paying attention. You're just getting rid of all your dogs. And you
exactly.
should, as a consumer, you should pay close attention to that.
Yeah.
What happened to the litter? Are they gone? And he might be feel happy. Yeah, there's one here, one there, feeling like Yeah, I got rid of him. That's success.
Mm-mm.
And you early on. That was his first litter. How
Yep.
viable is this stud at this point?
And 9 times out of 10, the people who got those dogs, they not gonna study them. They just gonna continue breeding. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
that's the downfall of these
Right.
dogs when it comes
They're
to
not
be
gonna keep their first
performance.
litter either. They're not gonna keep. They're gonna get rid of their shit too. So nobody
Exactly.
knows.
So nobody knows
Yeah.
what they got or
Nope.
what the potential the dogs have. You know, but they gonna continue to do it. And you're right. That's the downfall of the dogs. You know, but a big thing is, coming into this game, if you want to be a breeder, don't be money hungry. Don't just jump
Mm.
on anybody who got money.
Ooh.
Right.
People call me every day. Oh man, do you think that this will be a good breeding if I get one from you and I put it from this? I say, man, that dog is a puppy. Why would you be talking about breeding it? You have
Bro,
no
there's some breeders that
understanding.
won't even sell you their dogs.
Exactly. And at this point, I'm on that tip. As soon as you show
I
me
don't
that you're
blame you.
ignorant and that you just want to be a breeder, I don't
Yeah.
even sell you no dogs no more. You know
No.
what I mean? It's
You're gonna
over
ruin
with.
the formula.
It's over with. Shit. I
Years.
like I told even some of my partners and stuff. I told them, I said, man, I'm doing enough breedings this year. Y'all don't even gotta breed. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all see what I've been doing, I've been cooking, I've been putting together some good stuff. There ain't no point in y'all breeding. Y'all
Hell
just
no.
just get them from me. I'm gonna I'm gonna
100%.
send you I'm gonna send you a
Right.
pair on every litter. Don't
I
trip.
swear to
Right.
God, you're right.
You know what I
Lock
mean?
in.
Like,
Lock in.
yeah,
Sometimes that's you're gonna have better success doing that. Or
exactly.
you could do it the hard way and do it with all the headache and shit because you're not ready
Yeah.
for that. I hear too many breeders complaining. Oh, this is so hard. Oh, bro, that's not your lane. You gotta
Right.
Right.
know. It
If
should
you're gonna
not feel like, oh man, fuck. You should never feel like that.
Right.
all I know one thing, if you're gonna experiment, you better have your bank up because it's gonna cost you a
It's
lot.
gonna cost you more than you gonna make.
Yes.
That little motherfucker 1,500 that you get, shit, 800 of that is gonna go back into the puppies. You
Yep.
feel me?
Yeah.
The other, you got it. You're gonna have to separate them pretty soon. So you gonna, man, it's a lot of time. It's a lot
Oh
of
no, it's gonna be hours just trying to get that 1,500.
right,
He probably gonna make you go through all the hoops.
Yeah.
man. What you gonna have it to? You want them to pick them up at 8 weeks. They not gonna come pick them up until they 6 months old. You know what I mean? You gonna be hounding them. Man, where's your transporter? Oh, the
Ah,
transporter. He said,
like
woo,
that
woo,
one time on live, my man was trying to do Buck like that. My man, I remember that shit. My man never came and picked up his dog and want to blame Buck, and then told
woo.
Buck to give the dog away.
Yeah. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
that's
We
crazy work. That's
we not
crazy
keeping.
work.
Come
It's
get your dog by at least 10 weeks, and if you don't come get it by 8 weeks, shit, make sure you communicate. Make sure you sending that breeder some extra money, to house that dog, man. We
Yeah.
don't got time to BS around with y'all, and we know things happen, and
well, you
circumstances
move
come
to the
up.
next. Like if you wait too long on a
Yeah,
puppy, it moved. Like I ain't gonna just fuck you out your money, but
right,
that pup is gonna somebody else is gonna be claiming that,
right,
and you're
right,
gonna have to wait for the next available,
right.
within the right parameter, and you don't just get to just come and
No.
choose
Ex-
anything and shit, dog.
exactly,
Nah.
exactly.
Like he
You
said,
Talk
know,
there's
shit
levels.
and all that shit. You feel me? That's
yeah,
what they
bro.
do. I don't even sell adult dogs. It was one time I didn't try. Somebody asked me to buy a dog, and I was like, man, that dog's not for sale. But if you really want it, shoot me an offer, and I may consider. And they shot me a good offer, So, um, I went to sell the dog, and when the dog was with one of my partners, and I went by to pick the dog up, and I seen the dog was a little underweight. So I said, hey man, I ain't gonna put this dog on a transporter like this. Give me a few weeks. Let me get the dog straight. Let me put some weight on the dog so the travel won't be so hard on it. You know what I mean? And when I called back in a few weeks, he said, okay, cool, cool. He say, no, man, it's all good, man. Just keep that dog and just give me a puppy. Just give me a puppy off the dog. I said, oh, okay, fine. That's cool. When I do the breeding, you'll be the first one I call to receive a pup. All right.
Yeah.
So I did the breeding. The breeding didn't take. The breeding didn't take. The bitch did not take. Didn't have one puppy for me. So I called the breeder. I said, "Hey man, that breeding didn't take. I got this breeding. I got this breeding. And I got this breeding. All three of these dogs is pregnant. Would you like one off of this dog instead?" "Oh no, man, you can't just give me anything." "Okay, well just be patient with me and wait for what you want. You know, it might happen 6 months from now, it might happen a year from now. With these dogs, you never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you didn't want what you paid for in the beginning, you gotta be patient." "Oh man, so he wants to give me anything." "No, you don't want to be patient. So I offered you something else. If you don't want that,
Them dogs
it
don't
happens."
bleed every 2 weeks.
Exactly, you know. So he jumped on the internet, he talk smack about me and all this other stuff, you know. And that's the wrong thing you can do for somebody who's solid, because all
Yeah.
you got to do is pick up your phone and give me a call and we can figure it out. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Behind
You
the
know,
door.
so a lot of people they F they self and they get mad at the
Yeah.
breeder, you know what I mean? And it's really not the breeder's fault. It's the
No.
person being too antsy, you know?
Hey, real quick though, salute to all you dog men that make it hard for people to get your dogs into their yard unless you 100% sure. This is the reason why this breed is still alive today. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. I believe
You
that.
know, and within time, these people will get tighter and they'll start to understand it.
Yeah.
It's not you're not winning putting these dogs in people's hands and
Hell
don't
no.
understand. You're not winning. It's not a win.
Bro,
Hey,
you get them boys after you by putting it in the wrong hand.
hey,
You
I'm
don't
gonna
Right.
tell
want you
you.
don't want them
I'm gonna tell
problems.
you, man. You have the most problem, and I'm all about the affordable American Pit Bull Terrier. I'm all for it, right? But as an experienced breeder, you're gonna have more problems with the puppies that are, I'm gonna say, 2,000 and under than 2,000 and up.
And gotta
You're gonna
remember
have
this is
more
not
problems
1980s.
with the ones that are lower than 2,000,
Yes.
right? And your most of your problems are gonna come from.
Bad
That's why you
genetics.
guys better be careful when you guys want to sell them cheap ass pups.
Real talk.
That
Hey, it's
1,000 range, that 700 range,
Oh yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
hey,
even
it's a mem
12, even
it's a
like 12 and
real talk.
15.
That's
Real
like
talk.
opening a stand in the hood.
Yeah.
It's gonna be problems, dog. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But mark my word, you're gonna say, man, Buck told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buck
It's
fucking told me, bro.
it's a cat on Facebook and in those groups, and he runs most of the groups. He don't even have a dog. Right? He don't even have a dog. He says my name every day on the internet. I've never sold him a dog. He's never bought a dog from me. I've never met him in person. None of that. He's
Let
blasting me,
alone
says
see
my
one of your
name every
dogs.
day on the internet, bringing unnecessary attention to me and all this stuff. He doesn't even own a dog, and there's people who are vouching for him, and he has no credibility. Never been to anybody's backyard, never been to the woods and hunted hogs before, never had one of those big boars that would get on your dog's top and send both of y'all running out the woods. He's never experienced any of that, but he has credibility within the dog community.
I call
Nobody
them the
knows him.
OTC guys, off the chain.
Nobody knows him, but he has credibility. They block me from all these pages because he's talking smack about me.
Bro,
I
I ain't
say,
gonna lie.
man,
From what I've seen you post, you got some of the nicest shit out here.
I appreciate that, brother. I
I swear to
appreciate that.
God. I
I gotta
comment
get,
a lot on your post. You might not know it's me because I'm under
yeah,
a different name on Instagram, but
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I gotta give it up to the people before me, man. They did
thank you
good with
guys.
they did good with preserving what they had, you know what I mean? And I just came and tried to take it to
I
another
just
level,
appreciate you guys becoming students first and
for
then
sure.
becoming teachers. You,
For
Oh
Buck,
sure.
yeah,
and the rest of the
that's
real dog
important,
heads.
man.
I learned a
You
lot
get
from
your
you guys,
turn.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. People try to rush to the top. Like you
Yeah.
get your turn, man. You just gotta survive. Keep your bloodline, keep it in the right way. The right Make sure the dog, be hard on yourself. Make
Yes.
sure that you
Your
actually
toughest
got
critic should
good
be you.
dogs, and your
Hey,
time will come because
if
these
you do
dogs
the
are becoming extinct. I'm telling you.
if you
I
do the right
mean,
thing and you move in the right manner, those top breeders they will befriend you. You'll be their
Yeah,
friend. They will
they'll
give
come
you
to you.
dogs for free. You feel
yeah,
me? There's people that came and bought one dog with me. Man, they developed these dogs so well that they won't ever have to buy another dog from me. I'll literally give them dogs. Here, brother. Here, take this one. Do what you did with the last one.
right.
Put it through that whole process you did, man. I love what you're doing.
But then
Now
they're
you
not on whole shit either, though. Like, like they'll
exactly.
they'll actually
You,
let you breed to the dog. They'll give you shit off of the dog. They'll
yeah,
Yep.
they'll keep that relationship going.
And
Some
they
dudes
know.
just forget all about the dudes that help them out and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
And the good ones, they know that, like, really, like, I got a cat who I'm giving dogs to and I'm passing to. He doesn't even talk to me about no breedings. He like, Eli, what breedings you got going on? Ooh, 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 you gonna do this one? I say, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna send you one. He say, oh, bet. So he's not even worried about breedings because he know I got that
he know
hand.
you got it. He's
You
right,
know what I
right to
mean?
the right hand man, bro. What else
You
you want?
know?
You
And,
ain't got to
and,
do
and
the work.
you ain't gotta be that. You ain't gotta come in and be a breeder. Come in and just
Love the
cross your
dogs and
dots.
make them better.
You know what I mean? You
You know
know,
what I started seeing a lot from top tier breeders? If you're gonna breed your dog, they're making people sign contracts. If you're gonna breed your dog, you cannot use their name unless your dog is proven. I
yeah,
don't know
that
if y'all
shit.
heard me.
Good luck with that.
I swear to God, they making people sign
Hey, look at
contracts.
Rabbit Man said.
And paddle, he ain't lying though. I've seen it a million
Hey,
times.
listen, man. Hey, he's
Rabbit on
absolutely
a
right.
roll today.
But
man,
my
what?
thing is this: just cross it up. Do a cross that. If you want to do that, just do a cross that kind of makes it unique from the yard that you got it from on both ends. Add a little bit of something to it. There's nothing wrong with that. We look at pedigree. That's why we look at them. If these dogs didn't have other bloodlines in it, we wouldn't have to look at the fucking pedigree. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's why we look at it, so we can see the different ingredients that's in there. Be like, oh man, that right there, is some good blood. Or you heard about this blood over here. They got that.
Yeah.
It's not all about being a purist.
No.
Because a lot of dudes do that. And I see a lot of red boy guys do that. These Jeep dudes are popping up with this Jeep shit, even though,
Jeep
it's
tab
different
shit,
little
yeah.
variations, but they're stacking that shit, and a lot of those breedings, yeah, maybe they might be the ones to do. But if you trying to blaze your own trail, like you're still gonna get good dogs if you cross it up. And then from there, you take the best specimens from that.
Yes,
If
sir.
it turned out good, if you can honestly look at yourself and say, I like that litter, right? And other people could say, well, you don't need the other people to say anything, but if you got honest people in your circle or people that you talk to about the dogs, but don't think that you need their approval, because that's when you'll fuck up right there. Let me throw the disclaimer on that.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes.
if you can honestly look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, hey, I really like this litter. I'm attached to this litter. It was something special about that. Those specimens from there, in my eye, will be something that I would try to build from. That's just one level. You got to put that's just mixing up the concrete right there.
Yeah.
Then you start to build from there. I think you'll be successful if you do that. But you got to be honest. Like, if only 2 of them came out good out of 7 or 10, to me, I can't just, unless they were like some of the best shit I ever seen or some shit, I can't say that litter
Was it?
was my best litter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
There probably been a dog out of this other litter that was probably, he reached the pinnacle. The pinnacle. So a lot of people go off of that hype, like, wow, look how far he made it. But then you look at everybody around him, they didn't do shit. So you just one lucky motherfucker in the family. That's, I mean, kinda, you know what I'm saying?
I think people should just leave the breeding to the breeders. And if you love these dogs, just copy one from a good breeder and let him keep doing the breedings and get your puppies from him.
Right.
Mix your shit in with his batch after. Like if he allow you. Like, hey, I want to put your dog into my program, back into my program. Other than that, I think you wasting your time just trying to breed and sell puppies. If that's your goal and not making these dogs a better specimen, then you wasting your time.
Yeah, you wasting a lot of time, and then you're gonna be back in line buying dogs.
Back at
You're gonna be
number
buying
zero.
a whole bunch of dogs. It's gonna be like a revolving door, and pretty soon you just lose touch of what you were even doing in the first place, right? It's like a shooter, a basketball player that's in a slump, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know he's the greatest hooper ever. We saw the greatest hoopers go through slumps, right?
Yeah.
And they don't really know what they're doing. That's how you're gonna be with these dogs.
If not worse.
You're not gonna know what's good. You're gonna be overwhelmed.
Confused.
You know. Yeah. That part.
You're gonna be confused.
It's not gonna be pretty, man. you
I've
don't
seen
know
it a
what
million
to
times,
keep
bro.
and what to throw away. You're just getting junk after bad
head scratchers.
Experience after bad experience.
Just scratching
their
head
buying
hard
more
as hell.
dogs.
Like, what happened?
You're chasing Sasquatch. He's never pops up, you know.
Bro, I seen a breeding Red Boy Jocko alligator, and the shit was trash. Trash. Every dog came out curd. I promise you, trash. When I say trash,
See,
my
some
man
dudes
had just
they'll build
quit.
off of that.
Like, I'm done.
He'll take one of those because let's say he took one of them and sold it.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna take that dog, knowing that all the other ones was trash, and they're gonna still try to push the envelope because they know they could just post that shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers gonna buy that shit.
Seen it a million times, bro. A million times. Fucking up other people's programs.
If it's a hustle, they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, money stay green. Money stay green. But not all money is good money. That part.
Nah, I think that's a good one for a tip for future breeders. Because some people, you know, they just gonna breed, you know, fuck that. I'm a breeder, you know, they gonna breed. But to help them out, if they want to ever be considered a top breeder, you got to sit on your stock, bro.
You have to. If you got time, then okay, you can be a breeder. But if you ain't got that time, you impatient, your shit gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
I've seen it with too many people, bro. I mean, you got to take the best that you got, find another one that's just as great to breed them, but you're not going to know until 2 to 2.5 years later.
What about the people who say
have
what about the people
have that I believe that you have to have a certain level of you can't buy this dog from me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of good breeders yard be decimated because they couldn't stop taking the money.
Yeah.
The money that was coming in. You know, let's say people just start hitting you up every day, want to spend $2,500, $2,000, you know. After a while, they buying up all your dogs. You don't have no more puppies to sell them, right? They done bought half of your brood bitches. They about to buy your best male, and you won't. There's no wall right there. You know, I've seen a lot of yards be decimated like that. And they never produce no good dogs, and they just like, fuck it. You know, they done. They sold their best shit. Whoever bought it, half of the time they fucked them off because they didn't have the right vision of what they could have done in the situation that they were in, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's a
you
lot
gotta
of
have a
people.
certain level of I'm not selling this dog for nothing, in
For
my
sure.
opinion.
For sure. It's a lot of people who will use the excuse and they'll say, the blood is there. The blood is there. It'll get you what you need eventually.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time, you
Yeah,
know, and
that eventually might take 10 years.
I know some people who really believe in that, but I look at it like this. Our dogs are unique in their own.
Yeah.
We we expect certain traits
And attributes, yep.
and attributes out of them. These are not bullies. You can't just say the blood is there and expect to get good dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't work like that.
That's a
Because
great example.
a lot of the people who you got the dogs from, they use the same excuse and they say, "Oh man, that dog is bred like mush. She gonna produce."
Nah.
And I don't ever see it really happening like that. You know what I
Especially if
mean?
that person ain't even put the work in with the dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like theoretically, yeah, because we look at pedigrees, our mind is a computer, right?
Yeah.
So you're computing all these different styles and 50-50s and 75-25 and the eighth and this, you know, and T today and you know all this shit in your head. So theoretically, yeah, you're right. You know, 50-50, Red Boy Jocko, Bolio Tombstone. Yeah, man, that's Mayday. That's how Mayday's bred, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely always ain't like that. Now,
Right.
is that a good direction to go if you got good dogs? Yeah. You know, but shit, if you don't and if nobody knows what the traits you're getting and nobody really
Yeah.
knows, then you could do that breeding or just close your eyes and do, I mean,
Right.
because it's just silly at that point, you
Them
know.
paperworks be scary, dog. They be scary. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
The guy who understands those dogs is always gonna have the better dogs.
Yeah.
You and your neighbor could have the same combination. Bolio, Tombstone, Red Boy Jocko. Your neighbor don't do nothing but breed over there. He don't understand nothing he doing. But you took your time to understand the dogs in every gen. You only bred the ones that was worthy over here.
Yeah.
And y'all could have totally different traits in your dogs. And one could be trash and the other one could be great because the person took the time to understand them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
don't get caught up in those bloodlines and thinking just because somebody else did it 10 years ago and it produced a champion that you're going to get that too. No, the quality of the animals in front of you matter. You know what I mean?
Big time. Big time, because that's where you get dogs. Okay, going to genetics. You might have one that came out ace in everything he does, and then he'll have a brother that's just dumb and slow as fuck. And then you take the slow brother, put him into your program, and then he gonna slow everything else up. The genetics you wanted from the other brother would have worked, but with the slow motherfucker, all you gonna do is just water your shit down and make it bad. I've seen that a million fucking times.
He said people are under the misconception that the litter all share equal DNA.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
That was the
that part.
punchline right there.
It's just like
See,
growing cannabis,
I
bro.
learned
Same way.
I learned early on that, and that's keeping litters, that when you got a pedigree, shit, one of them pups might pull from the uncle on this side, one of them might pull from the auntie on the bottom, one of them might pull from different shit. So you're gonna get different variations, especially if you new to this shit and you don't know shit about both dogs' ancestry. Only
Right.
you know about the dogs in front of you, right?
Right.
So when you're looking at that, especially if you haven't seen these dogs, like even your eye visibly looking at the dog, right? You know, that's better than not knowing any dog in the whole fucking pedigree, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you're gonna make this pyramid, but you're gonna feel good about it and being strong, not because of the foundation that was set back in the day, because a motherfucker could have took a day off or something on that stone right there or that stone right there. But you know that pyramid that you built, you know, if you turn that fucking pedigree, you know, the other way, you know, uh you know those dogs in the pedigree. It's more dogs in there that you know, and you're taking pride in making that where it is today, you know. So, and if you're putting all good dogs in there, I think that's better than just novicely just playing tic-tac-toe with the fucking colors on the pads,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, at that point, yeah, you can try something based on the pedigree, but once you breed that pedigree, you got to actually know if it lives up to it. If that makes sense. Because like Mike Dan, I heard Mike Dan, you know, they back in the day, they wasn't motherfuckers wasn't talking about phenotypes and shit, you
No.
know?
No.
That's real, you know. But there were breeders that they weren't talking about it that much, like in those scientific terms, but they were on that. Like they knew what traits, you know, these dogs were throwing. We didn't really say traits, but and they were called styles and
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, they did kind of talk like that. I because I bought a lot of dogs too from different breeders and stuff. So I was able to pick their brain a lot.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of interest in that. Some people don't. Some people just buy the dog. All right, man, you know what I'm saying? Let me know when you got another litter. You know, they never call you to actually chop it up with you and to talk to you about the dogs. So by not doing that, you automatically putting yourself behind, right? Because you don't even know shit about the dogs. You ain't even talk to this guy. You don't know why he did that breeding. All you want to know is how much, and that's it, which is fine. It's good. You know, that's good. But chopping it up with a lot of breeders, you're going to hear a lot of different shit. You just got to pay attention because a lot of them are full of shit.
That's like them cats who won't ever come to you to get one of your dogs, but always
Yeah.
go behind your back to get your dogs. and,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
and
Right.
and then they
Line
call you.
skippers.
Then they call you when the dog hit a year old and says how much. They call you and they say, "Man, how much to breed back to the dad?"
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hold on.
exactly.
How'd you get
And
that dog?
I got a question for both of y'all. When you guys look for breeders, like say you're looking for something specific, what do you look for in a breeder before you even decide to hit them up and see if you can use them into your program? If that makes sense.
I look for the quality. You know what I mean? Like someone who's got years invested. First of all,
Yeah.
someone who operates on uh, uh, a good basis when it comes to caring for their dogs. You know what I mean? Like that all matters. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these breeders will try to charge you 3,000 for a puppy when you get.
Oh man, he was cooking.
It hasn't had its first shots. The puppy's all wormy. They send it to you, but you just paid $3,000 for this dog that looks like a $50 corner store dog. And they really think that they have the right to charge you this type of money when their dogs are low quality because
Right.
they don't take care of them properly. It's been so many
Yeah.
times that I've accidentally dealt with people like that and got puppies and been like, "What did I paid what for this dog? Look at this mug. It deserves to be at a shelter somewhere. It's
Yeah.
anorexic, wormy,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
man." So you got to look for the character of the breeder. You know what I mean? If he's when you see his dogs, they should be shining. When you see his dogs, they should have good weight on them. They should be well
On a different
conditioned.
level.
You know what I mean? They
Right.
should be top quality animals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are the
man.
breeders who deserve that money from you. You know what I mean? These backyard guys who can't even wake up in the morning and clean out a kennel before they go to work,
Right.
man, they got their nerves for trying to ask this type of money.
Well, their dog's probably gonna turn out like them.
Hey, I
For
swear
real.
that says a lot. Like when you present your puppies, the presentation,
Yeah.
like I got people that say the puppy they got from me was the best, fattest, nice, healthiest puppy they ever got from anybody, like to this day. And that was fucking 5 years ago. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think that has a lot to do with it when it comes to that. But because you got some dudes, they just do that. They might be coming in from another breed, so you can't let them mix in. But I'm looking at the consistency, and I'm gonna treat it like the dope game. I don't want my shit stepped on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No nickel and
I'm
dime
coming to
shit.
get something particular, or it's something. Maybe it is stepped on, but it's something that I know, has good consistency.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna look for. But if it's somebody that's got a family of dogs and those dogs are successful in other places, then that speaks to the consistency of the bloodline. So it's like, okay, let me get this, even though if I might be bringing it in to add to the program or breed it or just for a pet or, to try him out, see if he got good confirmation when he grow up or whatever. But I had that option to choose then, but just going in, I want because it got to be two parts.
Yeah.
Like I got to be able to have the house with the yard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just want the either or. So when I'm buying it, I'm looking for it to be a good performing dog as well as a good producing dog. Like it might be
Yeah.
asking for too much, but that's why you a sharp shooter. That is asking a lot for a motherfucker sitting on top of a building and snipe your ass from 2 football fields and shit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
asking a lot, but it's been done. So why not me?
Right. You
Fuck it.
hitting your target right there.
Yeah, nah, that's what I want. Straight up.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I don't want to fuck with a breeder that says he's only been in the game for 10 years, number one. Number two, I like to know the history behind that breeder and then what his program has done and why
Right.
his dogs are the one.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. You
How
got to
many
be
good
careful.
dogs has he produced? I
Yeah.
think that matters.
Yeah.
That matters. Because there could be a guy, let's say he's only been in it 5 years,
Yeah.
but he's producing a plethora of good dogs, right? Would that
Mhm.
change your mind?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or you
I don't
still
think
need
so.
him to be in 10 years?
I don't think so. I think I still need him to be in the 10 years.
Yeah, 5 years ain't enough. But
Yeah.
if he's producing a lot of good dogs, he must got some good dogs
No,
over
for
there,
sure.
right? We
And you know
can't
what? You're
deny
right,
that,
Buck. No, let me scratch that. You're right
right?
because look, for instance, Team Kraken, it's multiple people that got nice, beautiful shit. So that's how that shit works. And me personally, if you got a dog and that dog is performing, I'm gonna be on your ass about it. Yeah. I'll say yeah.
Exactly.
You're right. I can't even cap on that.
Yeah, that would be an exception. But
Yeah.
that's I mean, but you can learn how to do that here. We talk about that,
Yeah, for sure.
super dogs, different things like that. Like if you go get a super dog that I already been wanting to breed to, you know,
Yeah.
um, shit, I guess I gotta go to you to breed to him, right?
And I learned that
And
about you
if
too.
and
Yeah.
if you don't breed them, you don't breed them out. You just want people to get the sauce like you whipping it up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to do sometimes because a lot of times them dogs ain't gonna work the way they bring your bitch there. That shit might not work good. You see what I'm saying? Or
100%.
they might not put them in a good light so that people get to see your shit in a negative fucking light. Or them
Right.
dogs got rickets and they just it ain't working out. It wasn't a good breeding.
You're right.
So sometimes you don't open your dog up for public stud and you control the puppies that come out of that motherfucker.
100%. And how many? Like
and,
how many
and which
breedings?
ones? Like, nah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hold this one back. I ain't gonna sell this, or this is a good puppy right here. I
Yeah.
know he's ready, for a family,
Yeah. That's what my uncle used to do. That's what my uncle used to do. And I seen that as a kid growing up. So I used to
Right.
try to mimic what I used to see him do. And it always worked. Anytime I did some shit that somebody didn't know what the fuck they was doing, and I listened to them, I swear to God, it came out trash.
Right.
Well, look, I've seen people, considered OGs in the game.
Yeah.
They say that they've been in dogs for 30 years. And I say, dang man, you got some history with the breed, man. You've been doing your thing. Woo woo woo. I say, man, let me see how you've been building that family of dogs that you've been having for 30 years, man. And they get offended because their name is only in the second and third generation after 30 years,
Yeah.
you know? And that just tells me that they're so caught up in the fad that they don't believe in their own shit. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
go and they use everybody else's studs over and over again and they chase the fad of what's hot. You know what I mean? So now you see all these other people in their peds constantly and you only see their name once or twice because they didn't believe in what they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I had an OG get mad at me a few weeks ago because he told me he had 30 something years in the game. And I say, damn, you must be in the 10th, 15th generation. you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, you sound like an idiot, man. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It takes such and such years to it well, does it? You know what I mean? Cause, you know, we got at least 17 years in, and you can find some of our work in the fifth and sixth generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
For
that's just
sure.
because we've believed in our own stuff. You know what I mean? So
Bro, the proof's in the pudding.
exactly.
Yeah. Shit. I can tell you what I see when you post shit, bro. I see what I'm like. God damn. Okay, that's the difference.
He said all you can guarantee a healthy pup.
That's it. That's it.
For sure. As long as you can do that consistently, you know, people should respect you in the game.
It's the work you put into them animals, bro. It's not just sticking two animals together. It's the work you've proven that you put in to create that specimen the way you
Right.
created it.
Man, those puppies that you just shot out, they're healthy because their mom has been healthy her whole life. The dad was healthy when he ejaculated
Yeah.
and created that sperm. You know what I mean? All that matters. You know what I mean? If you're breeding a dog that's already sick, a female that's sick, and you expect her to go through 2 months pregnancy and have the puppies have a hard labor, and you think she's gonna bounce back and have some healthy puppies, you're crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I was telling Lot Boy a couple of days ago, I had called him up. I seen him post a picture of Turbo. And I was telling him, bro, that is one of the most healthiest, beautiful dogs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he said, cracking is cracking.
On everything. It's the
But
work that you put in. It all matters,
yes,
man.
that's the difference.
Those puppies come out healthy because you put in the work for
Right.
years and years and years. At this point, I just dropped a litter of 10 pups.
Yeah.
This bitch looks like she looked before she was even pregnant. She's not skinny. The puppies aren't sucking her dry.
None
No,
of that.
because it's a consistency. Her
Right.
grandmother was this way.
Yeah.
Her great grandmother was this way. She didn't have no problem having puppies. She bounced back right away.
She ain't wanting for shit, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you got dogs that you breed, you back up together, you post a picture of them stuck, and they're both emaciated. Man, what you think you're gonna get from the pups? You think the puppies are gonna be chunky and healthy and
Mm-mm.
without worms?
Yeah, they struggle. It's not fair on them, you know, because
Yeah.
we talk about the little pup, but you know, it ain't fair for that little poor pup, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
for
Put
real.
some fat on them pups, man. I
Yeah.
should see some wrinkles on that motherfucker. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's what it's all about. I think they get better nutrition, you know, for cognitive health, for fucking bone, you know, all
Right.
that. Everything
Right. And
relies on fat, you
right. And
know.
it's genetics too, you know?
Right,
If those bitches can't put on no weight, if those bitches are skinny, if those bitches is emaciated their whole life, they are not the bitches you want to be breeding.
right.
No.
And yeah, then they put them on, then they make a post on Facebook talking about what do I use to make my bitch come in heat? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take care of that
The
bitch.
bitch ain't
You
coming in
know?
heat
Yeah.
because she ain't healthy.
Get your nose out of her ass and go feed her.
Exactly. The heats come. It's just man. This is they. You're gonna get your dogs are gonna bleed when their bodies is telling them that they're ready and prepared to
Yes.
have puppies.
Yep.
Right.
If them dogs aren't
Hair
healthy
start
enough,
falling off the tummy, all that shit.
right? If those dogs aren't healthy enough, they're not gonna bleed. Yeah, you
Mm-mm.
can
Yeah.
force them to with these
They
shots that
can't
you're giving them.
produce
Yeah.
an egg to even come down, you know.
And 5
Exactly.
years later, it still ain't happened.
So it's really important about the females that you're choosing to breed,
Yeah.
man. Just because she's got the qualities doesn't mean that she's a brood dog. Doesn't mean that she deserves to be bred because she has the qualities. You got to look at her. Does she hold her weight? Is she a good? Do you think she'll be a good mom?
Mm.
You know what I mean. You got to look at all these things, man.
Yeah. You got especially I had one time I had a breeding done and the mom ate the puppies.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think
Yeah,
that shit don't happen.
yeah, it
Oh yeah.
happens. They'll do it for all type of reasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nutrient deficiency.
No
You
way.
know,
I never knew that.
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, hey, I can't go 8 weeks with taking care of these puppies. I'm already fucked up myself.
You gotta
Yeah.
learn how to read the body
The
language, huh?
prenatals is good because you know they could be missing something that you just can't see with the naked eye. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly. And them eating the
prenatal
puppies is
just to
like,
get them
hey,
a
you're not
wide
finna
range of shit.
You're not finna stick me with these puppies, and I barely eat myself. Hell no. I'm about to eat these motherfuckers. They not finna be feeding off me, sucking me dead,
I
dry.
mean, why even breed to a dog like that anyway? Though, you know what? That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Exactly. You know, and it's really important, you know, because and then there's other reasons they eat them because they're not comfortable.
That just
Because
go back to people that don't know what the fuck they doing.
you haven't put them in a proper environment to be successful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
no shit. You
and
really fucked my head up with that.
sometimes it's just out of your you know, it's nothing you did. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's just the mom, she's just not a good mom,
yeah,
you know. So
Yeah. Now you got to have them in the right environment, man. You got to have some key situations for that you get good success for and from and
yeah,
use those, but have a couple different options because every dog ain't gonna want to do everything. Like
yeah,
whatever setup you have for the last bitch, it might not work for the next bitch. So just have a few different options, man, and real effective environments to do your puppy whelping and stuff. And you're gonna increase your probability of having a good litter. But the bitch sometimes just eat puppies and shit. You know that.
yeah.
And
That and
laying
then
on them and shit. I think laying on them, I learned over the years it's from I don't know. I'm not gonna say 100%, but I know that a lot of the times the bitch, if she's not like strong enough, like in shape enough,
oh no shit. Yeah, I know where you
she's
going.
not gonna be able to like tiptoe and maneuver, her body
Yeah,
and
right.
what I'm
She's too
saying,
tired.
moving around, because she's how it is. She's out
Yeah,
of shape.
it's like
She
having one of
been
them
sitting
fat
up
bitches
eating,
living
getting
in your
fat.
crib.
You just let her get fat. You motherfuckers put her in them above the grounds and shit. They're not getting no fucking exercise in that.
No.
You know, it's just like a motherfucker sitting in jail playing goddamn pinochle all day. Like
Right.
you're not ready to really do the damn thing, bro.
No.
You gotta do some squats or something up in this bitch to keep those lower extremities intact. So take her up out the brood box, walk her, do
Yeah.
it's nothing wrong with that. Just because she's pregnant, I mean, you want to make sure that she's not bringing no parasites and different things back to to the the nest, the best of your ability, but at least let that bitch do some type of exercise and move around. I like 10 by 10s or like a 5 by 10,
Yeah.
with the big kennel. What I'll do is I'll actually whelp them in the house. I'll do them. I'll have the litter. The delivery will be inside, but
Mm,
in between, just like a baby at the hospital. 3 days or something. That's the hospital. But I wait like a week or something, maybe like a week. I can, depending on the temperature, the time of year. After like a week, sometimes a little longer, I could put them right in that goddamn igloo, bruh. You
yeah.
know, and pad it up and everything so that they can't slip up out of there. I put my brick right there so when she goes across the threshold, when the puppies get too strong, she can't drag them out. You know,
Yeah.
so I put like a brick right in the entryway. So when they hanging on while she wants to get up and go use the bathroom or something, she's not dragging puppies up out of the house. They'll just fall right off. They're gonna hit the brick as soon as she step over the brick. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So it's my shit. It works for me. Some people, oh no. It works for me, brother.
Right.
It works for me. It
Right.
works.
I'm not gonna
You can
take no
use it.
advice from a
You can use the
donkey.
idea, or you don't have to, bro.
Like, why
I
fix
also
it if
like
it
to
ain't broke?
make sure that my bitches ain't around no aggressive barking type of dogs.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, like if
That'll
they're gonna be
agitate the fuck out of
barking
them.
and shit and doing shit like that any time of the day,
Yeah.
That could really agitate a bitch, you know,
Yeah,
with her
trigger her.
puppies because she doesn't know if the dog's gonna come in there
Yeah.
and fuck up her pups.
She already on defense mode.
So 9 times out of 10, there's already been a yard accident or somebody's done got bit on the yard. So she heard that. She was there. She knows that. That's a possibility. These dogs are not fucking stupid. You
Right.
know? And so the environment that you think is just a cool environment, that bitch knows like I might have to kill this motherfucker.
Right.
Next
She got to
door.
stay on tip 24/7.
You feel me? So a mother dog, a good mother, will rather kill her puppies before
Then
she
allow
let
another
you
one
kill
do
them.
it. Yeah. It's
Right?
just like the lion game.
Yeah. She gonna kill her puppies. I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers before you.
Right.
I ain't gonna give you the satisfaction.
Bro, I learned some shit today
killing
from you
my
guys.
shit.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know?
Like,
so you know, you live and you learn. That's why I say get those hours in, yo. You're gonna learn a lot of shit getting those hours in.
I hope y'all got your notebooks out.
Big Saw, Vito, what up?
Saw part of their ass.
Man, salute everybody.
Hell yeah.
Salute everybody, man. We back. You know, we ain't gotta watch Blues Clues, like I said at the beginning.
The hard work is completed.
No Blues Clues today. We talking dogs. We talking dogs. We got constant pressure. Yes, Team sir. Kraken Swamper in the building. Hey.
Get that fucking magazine, volume 2 coming soon.
Oh man, that shit. I hope it be here tomorrow, man.
I can't
it's too
wait.
Close. It's coming too close to the door. Like, that motherfucker might be here today.
I can't wait.
You know, it's still early. It's 7:40. It's still early. It might be here Saturday. It might be here, you know.
That's when they say there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
In Buck we trust.
Yeah.
Hey. I ain't
gonna lie.
I'm probably so much shit
from you,
but
getting a little antsy. I might track the motherfucker today.
Man, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad.
Track them. I usually don't do that, but I be, you know, like, let me just track them real quick, man. You know, it's a lot of hard work put in, man. You know.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoy and participate because I'm already been working on volume 3. Like, I'm not gonna slow down for nobody. You know, it's out of the question.
No, fuck no. Why stop the train? The train don't stop.
I got 5 computers, bro. This motherfucker right here, I could drop it. CC could just drop it. Like, that's not gonna stop nothing.
Who would have thought you would have turned into a computer nerd?
Oh no, I've been a computer nerd. I've been on computers for fucking 25 years, 30 years.
Man, I applaud you, brother.
Yeah, I fuck with computers, bro. I used to have studios, so
yeah. No,
early
for sure.
2000s,
I know
we had to
have
have Pro Tools, and you know, I had studios, so
yeah,
I was always in those computers like a motherfucker, man.
You know how to run them SSL boards, Buck?
Yep.
Oh shit.
I can run the old school, the real, the old school joint.
Yeah.
You know.
But
everything's digital now. You know, you don't have to do that shit now. You know?
For sure. I listen. Every year they got some new shit that pop out. You got Pro Tools Diamond, Pro Tools Platinum, Pro Tools this, Titanium, all types of shit coming out.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna build a studio within the next year, hopefully. You know, I got to get my finances together, but I got a perfect spot,
brother. God is blessing you
abundantly. Studio.
God is blessing you.
It's gonna be dope as fuck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing all my streams and shit from there too. It's gonna be stupid.
Wow. Oh shit, them dreads getting longer. Them dreads getting longer.
Oh yeah. Oh, that boy's dreaded in. He's dreaded all the way in.
Rastafarian in this mother.
You know, them dreads getting longer.
I'm trying to figure out how to flip my camera around. Shoot.
It might be on the top right corner.
Oh, okay.
Oh damn! I
got out of there.
Mission. Damn.
Hold up. I see Big Saw in the back. His shit ain't hooked up though.
Let me
see.
I guess not. I think he got it. Nah. Just flip your phone around.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just turn your phone around. Flip your phone around. Bam.
Uh-oh.
Nice little pup.
Oh, yeah. My dad said go to settings.
Oh, you got to do it in the settings?
He said go to settings.
All right. Good.
That's a nice motherfucker right there.
Yeah. That's Farrakhan. That's one of Farrakhan's sons.
Oh, Farrakhan.
Man.
Yes. Farrakhan.
The minister.
He getting old.
Oh, Farrakhan.
The motherfucking
He getting
minister.
up there now, huh? Well, he like 6 or something?
Yeah, Farrakhan turned 6 in June.
Yeah.
That's how you know Buck know
April.
his
My
shit.
bad.
Bro.
April.
Buck can look at a dog and be like, hey, that dog is 5 years old.
I know them dogs. I know them dogs.
No, I'm just talking shit.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Active. That motherfucker would jump that fence if that chain wasn't on. Damn.
Who's that right there?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck is that doing that? Uh-oh. There go Caveman.
That's his signature.
Caveman, what up, Caveman?
That's a nice one right there.
What's going on?
Thank you. Going for a walk, do some prey drive tests on some pups. I caught a woodchuck in a foothold trap and it's alive in the burrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bro, you got nothing but land up here. Vito, my brother.
What up?
What it do,
my
fam?
rotator on. Chillin'. There's one of my pups.
Where Big Saw?
Let me text him.
Big Saw.
Good, everybody. Big Saw in the comments.
This how them pregnant females should eat, man. You should have that chicken on standby. That beef, them organs.
Oh, so are you doing raw?
Yeah, I give my bitches raw during pregnancy. They get a little kibble, but not too much. Feel me? And then when
I noticed that the raw be making them more wormy, dog.
Yeah, you got to keep it. You just got to stay on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I
seen somebody say pre-boil it, like lightly.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boiling that shit.
Yeah.
This is always good. That apple cider vinegar for them pregnant bitches. That wild salmon.
He said he trying to get the phone right, but
shit, my
he said he
pregnant bitches
coming.
even get RF1.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
What's that right there?
That's that RF1.
Is that Garner shit?
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I give it to my dogs that are working and my pregnant jips, just so the pups get all the nutrients. You know what I mean?
Right.
So green. They get they, but shit, I like it. You know, I've been using it for years. It's good stuff. You know.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. Yeah. You know, and the great thing about it is all the ingredients is on it. So you know exactly what you're giving your dog, you know?
Yeah, that shit go good with raw feed, bro.
Yes,
Do it
sir.
stink?
It smells a little bit like fish and
yeah, I say if it don't stink, it don't work.
Yeah, it don't work. You ain't never lied.
I want that food that, you know what I'm saying?
And that's with all types of things too, like even when in like the cannabis industry, like
You know what I'm saying?
You got that funky soil, that smell like something. Oh, you know you cooking in.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
telling everybody my secret.
I do
Uh-oh.
that with the I do that. I got the I go to my local meat market on Wednesdays and I go pick up my shavings. Like last week I picked up uh some brisket fat. You feel me? About 10 pounds of brisket fat. I picked up some liver. I picked up some chicken hearts. You know what I mean? Um
Do you feed them the chicken fat too, fam?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I do all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But you got to do it in moderation. You know what I mean? If you do it every day, you're gonna go outside. You're gonna look at your dogs. They're gonna look
They're gonna
like
be sick,
fat.
right?
They're gonna look like fat pigs, and they're gonna be
Uh,
out of shape. They're not gonna want to. They're not gonna want to work in the heat. They're not gonna want to do none of that. So when it comes to the fat, that's two, sometimes 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Don't overdo it.
No. So when it comes to chicken though, when you feed it chicken, you know how chicken is a little more lethal than just eating raw red meat. What do you do in that situation?
You
Do
said
you
a little
boil
bit
it?
more. You said a little bit more lethal.
Yeah. They say
Um,
chicken just poison, period.
You
Unless you
got to
cook it.
source it different.
Salmonella. You
Oh
said what,
yeah.
caveman?
A lot of the problem with chicken is how it's raised. If you get one that's full of antibiotics and
Ah,
shit like that, it's what fucks the
exactly.
dog up.
That's what the beef and the chicken.
yeah.
Yep.
And we know we got that problem here in America. It's just like that.
That's
You
why I'm
know what I
cooking
mean?
my
Oh,
shit though.
yeah.
You know,
These
but
dogs eat nothing but raw beef.
make
But if
sure
you getting
that
organic shit, that should be a difference, right?
definitely organic and grass fed should definitely be
Yeah.
a little different.
You
But
can even tell by the texture of the meat
nowadays,
too.
nowadays we can't trust the source all the way. You know what I mean?
Organic is
So
more tender.
you know, um,
You know
There's no
something down there.
steroids, none of that shit in
you
it.
can kind of look at it and look at the color. The shit that's got all the steroids
Good
and the
question.
coloring is gonna be like
Right.
yellowish. But that organic grass fed chicken is gonna be its natural color. It's gonna be more red than
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? Um.
Quick
So
said,
yeah.
do you prefer chicken over beef?
Um. I mean, I I use beef, but I like my chicken. I like my chicken. Beef is definitely used in moderation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The
Yeah,
chicken
beef will make
you
them
can give
heavy.
them as much chicken as you want.
With lean protein. Yep.
Um, but I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, as far as the lethalness of the chicken, when you get that chicken from the store, where you get it from anywhere,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you get that chicken in the freezer at least for 24 to 48 hours. Freeze that chicken.
Yeah.
Just freezing it takes away a lot of the
The
toxicity. You
bullshit.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? The E. coli, the salmonella, and
Right.
all that stuff. So
Gotcha. Because I was just wondering because I was like, you know how wild like for instance, in the trap we
Pull
used to
out.
have a black leopard, and we used to give it raw meat and raw chicken. Is the acids in the stomach different? Is that what it is? Where it don't affect them, but it will affect like a dog or a human?
yeah, I think after generation of generation, is you build up those type of animals build up a certain type of um immunity to certain things.
Right.
No. And our dogs don't always get a chance to build that immunity because they only experience our yard. You know what I mean? So, most of the time, Um, so those wild animals, they get to see and they get to go through things and they catch those little sicknesses early in their life. So later on it doesn't affect them in the same manner. It's like
Right.
when people caught COVID for the first time, they were fucked up. But
Oh,
then when
bro,
they
that
when
that
they
shit
got it
fucked
the
me up.
second
Yeah.
when they got it the second time,
It
they
wasn't the
really couldn't
same.
even tell that they
No.
had it.
The flu was worse to me than my second COVID.
For
So
sure.
yeah, you're right about that.
That's what
They
I
become
heard. But
immune.
And that
I
COVID
never
was mean, boy.
Oh my
I
God,
never
especially
got
that
it, thank
Delta.
God.
That
I
shit
never
was
experienced it.
mean, boy.
But yeah.
Man, bro, your body hurt. Everything hurt. Everything. You weak as fuck.
I
But
didn't
the
even want to
second
lay
time I
down.
caught it, I ain't feel none of that shit. I ain't feel none of that shit.
Once.
Yeah,
Shoot,
I
I
got
like
it
to do.
twice.
I like
Yeah.
to do the organic frozen blueberries for the dogs too.
Yeah,
You know
I seen
that
that a lot from.
that helps the dogs digest their food that what they
Yeah,
ate. You know what I mean? So I do the organic blueberries. Like I said, I do the liver. These is real cheap right here. You $2.58 for these little
what do
bags
you
of
use
slice.
to flush your dogs out? Like, say
Um,
if they not feeling good, or you see something like that's making them not, not looking healthy or the best. What do you use to flush that shit out with?
First thing I'll do is deworm the dogs, and then I'll get them on antibiotics. You know what I mean? I'll put them on um what's it I put them on um amoxicillin,
Yeah,
stuff like that, run all that stuff through them. And I like to do it with my dogs even if they aren't sick, you know.
right. Just keep them healthy. Period. He was cooking.
Every
Hell
2 or 3 months I'll
man.
take 2 or 3 days out of the month and I'll flush my dogs out whether they're sick or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's really important, just staying up on it, And a lot
yeah,
of times those dogs are sick because they full of fleas and mosquitoes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you gotta rid that problem. Once you rid that problem, then your dogs will be a lot more healthier and a lot more comfortable.
Especially breeders that live out like in the boondocks and shit.
For sure.
They got to worry about that for real. You
Man, I'm
get them
from
ticks.
I'm from the West Coast, man,
Yeah.
and when I moved down south, I never experienced some of the things that I experienced. You know what I
No.
mean on the West Coast, and it's a
Oh,
constant battle. You know what I
yeah.
mean? If you're not prepared to fight the battle, then you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this year, uh, 2 months ago, I had to start treating my yard for fleas and mosquitoes, and
Yeah.
I had to do that. I had to do it 3 days out of the week. I did it 3 days one week. Next week I did it again 3 days. Then I'll skip a week and I would do it again for 3 days. And that was the only way that I could be prepared for it
Right.
because the year when I first moved, when I first got down south, I didn't know no better. You know
Right.
what I mean? So man, they was on my ass so bad, boy.
Bro,
And
they spray that shit up here for you can caveman will vouch for it because he lived in the boondocks.
for sure.
They spray at nighttime. They have these vans that come out and spray
Hmm.
all over the farming areas.
Right. Right. And it's simple
Yeah.
things you can do, hook up the little bottle to the water hose,
Yeah.
the little bottles that you get from Home Depot, hook them up to the
Yep.
water hose and put you some Dawn dish detergent, put you some
Yes.
apple cider vinegar in there, put you
You
some dimetриous earth in there, you know what I mean?
you
Put
know
you a
why I'm
little
laughing, right?
put you a little pinch of bleach and a little bit pinch of pine sol and spray that yard, man. Hit that
And it
yard,
will fuck them up. Yes.
you know.
We used to do that for the spider mites when you
And
want to hit organic.
a lot of people they talk about it and they don't really do it, but we really take those measures. We keep this stuff on hand. You know what I mean? Dimetриous earth. We mix that with the Dawn dish detergent. You feel me? We mix it
Yeah.
with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. You
Yeah.
know, we got a little pine sol. We mix in there. You feel me? You know,
Yeah.
and that's how you keep the mosquitoes away. That's how you keep. Don't forget about the baking soda. Baking
Now
soda is
this is all
what?
during the dogs being out there, or do you have to put your dogs away
I
first?
move my dogs out for the day,
Yeah.
out the chain spots, just so I can do it thoroughly,
Yeah.
you know. And after I'm finished, I'll put them back in their chain spot the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And nothing I do will harm the dogs. Most of those things are all natural. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Um, yeah, that's just how you stay on it. And then you won't see when you go outside and you don't see your dogs itching, scratching, and
Right.
you know what I mean. See them comfortable. They can sit around and lounge and be comfortable without flies tearing them up. You know that stuff is working.
Right. Right.
So
He said vinegar attracts flies.
Is that the
well,
sweetness? Yeah, but it's watered down with other shit in it too, though.
Yeah,
You got to
maybe
put
so.
that. You got to put some of that, like that eucalyptus oil or something in there.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. We got tea tree oils. We put a
Tea
little.
tree
Yeah,
oil,
the tea
especially
tree, too.
Yeah.
Yes, especially
Tea
tea tree.
tree, eucalyptus, all that.
Put
Those.
that shit on
The
your
best
face and
thing
see
you
what
could
it
do
does.
is the best thing you could do is the organic neem oil.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You said neem?
Neem oil right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Organic
Yup.
neem.
That's what lets it stick on there too.
For sure. And insects hate this neem
Yeah.
oil. They don't like it.
Yeah.
You
They
use
taught
it
us that shit growing.
when
Yup.
it comes to cannabis too. You could use it on your cannabis. It's
Yes,
all
sir.
organic.
It's very
We
good.
just rub it, drip it on there and rub it in or something.
On your
You gotta
cannabis,
spray it.
spray it. Yes.
Oh, it's a
Spray it.
spray bottle.
Yeah,
Same with your
you water
dogs.
it
Put
down
it in
and
your
spray
spray
it.
bottle and spray the yard with it. Sure.
Gotcha.
It's just a heavy, thick oil base, Buck, and then you just put a little water to it, and what
And
it
a little
does, it
disto for
suffocates them.
emulsifier.
Yeah, it suffocates the insects.
For sure.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
stay up on your remedies, man. You
Yes,
got to
sir.
stay up on those remedies because you'll pay 5 times more if you don't know no remedies, bro. You know,
Bro. Yeah, and half the time the shit you buying don't even work. It don't. You got to know exactly what to buy and how to mix it, or it ain't gonna work. That's why it's good for a breeder to become a grower. You're gonna learn a lot of shit on that aspect with the insects and stuff. But yeah, man, you gotta be careful. Them insects will make your dog sick. They will fuck their coat up, all types of shit.
hell yeah.
I'm smoking on this candy space. What you got in the air, Buck?
Oh,
Runts.
nah, I'm on this jealousy lemon cherry.
Oh man,
That jealousy
Yeah, it's
is where
called
it's at.
that
this
jealousy
shit's
is
called
nice.
Dr. Doom.
Real talk.
Yeah, that jealousy is nice. Dr. Doom. Buck be finding some good shit. He over there too, where it's
That
at.
shit
I
be
swear to
finding
God.
me. Oh my god.
The best fucking weed comes from the West Coast. I don't care what anybody say, whether it's Washington, Oregon, Cali.
Sure.
Man,
Swear to
motherfucker,
God.
man, Canada got some good ass weed, bro.
Yeah, but that sometimes it's a hit or miss, Buck, with they BC bullshit.
Yeah, everything's a hit or miss. You go to
Yeah.
Cali, it's a hit or miss.
You just got to know the breeder.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can go anywhere, it's a hit or miss.
I smoked some of the Bammer's weed of Cali.
Right, I could go anywhere and get some bullshit, bro. And I just be
Yeah.
like, I don't want no good weed, bro. I want some bullshit, and they're gonna bring you some bullshit.
Some like Primos.
They're gonna bring you some bullshit, bro.
Look, there go the babies.
I remember my brother used to he gotten a lot better now, but I remember he used to grow some shit, you know, when he was first getting into it, you know. I mean, you know, a couple times, you know, it was all right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't never to the point where I felt like he was good enough to just say, all right,
Like he
you're
made a
self-sustainable. Like you don't need to buy no weed nowhere else. You can just smoke on that.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better now. You know, he's getting up there, but
It takes
Real.
time, especially if
easy.
you start from scratch.
It's not easy, for
Yeah.
real. You can grow it.
yeah.
You can grow it to perfection, but then you don't know the curing process.
What the
You know
fuck
what I
they
mean?
find? They found something.
You could you could grow it all right, and then but you know everything about the curing process to make
Yeah.
it better. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah. That's one of the most important processes besides stressing your fucking plant out.
for real.
That curing shit, bro. I mastered that shit and it showed a big difference.
The people who care about that are the people who smoke their own product. You feel
You're
me?
really not supposed to release your weed for 6 months after
For
you
real.
drop your crop.
Yeah, you're right. But you know, the money hungry people, as soon as it's halfway dry, they're gonna try to get it out on you. They're gonna put it
Yeah,
in
my
turkey
people.
bags.
My own people.
If it shows, if it
Get that
shows
shit
up
on
in
the
them,
market.
if it
I
shows
swear
up
to
in
God,
them,
Buck, they cut it down yesterday. They ain't even let it dry. It's in a vacuum seal. The motherfucker smell like mildew by the time it's gone.
If it shows up in them turkey bags, you know that they rushing the process.
Yes, yes. Especially when they got that little humidity pack in it.
Oh, just burp it a few times a day.
Get the fuck out of here. You can't run that shit on me. I know it too well. I let my shit literally dry for 2 weeks hanging, and I burp it for another month before I even release it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that shit was. I used to have some crack. I'm talking about marijuana, stone kickers. I mean, tire kickers.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
and it's legal in our state, so
Yes.
just leave it alone.
Just a little disclaimer before they get
Yeah,
ideas.
no, it's legal.
But
I'm not.
selling crack
I
online.
used to be a bad guy, now I'm a good guy. It's legal.
Yeah, it's legal. Like my uncle said, he's a good boy now.
It makes me think like these laws are bullshit. Like, okay, what's next? What are we doing now that's illegal that's gonna be legal? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fucking selling soap,
come on, man.
bro. How much the game done changed. Life, period. But yeah, man.
What they talking about in the chat?
They've been going too. My brother Hemi.
He said having a good brew, bitch, is very important. John Johnson. Hey, definitely. You keep her, you hold on to her.
Yeah.
Because they're not easy to come by. You're playing 21, you get a 17, and you think you can hit and shit and try to get, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What they say, you're supposed to stay at 16 and up, right?
Yeah.
16 and up, you're supposed to stay, right?
16 and up.
I mean, shit. You could keep trying to get the best ever and then wind up having the worst. It has to happen to somebody.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it might happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a million people racing. Somebody got to lose the motherfucking race. Somebody's got to come in dead last.
That's why they call it levels.
You just shit.
But, my boy Big Saw over there struggling with his new phone.
They're going to get a hold of some of this real game and they're going to know how to navigate. A lot of this stuff ain't going to be able to take place.
Back in the days, they used to have to pay for that game.
Yeah, Big Saw back there, but it won't let them connect.
Yeah. No, I know.
He got that new phone.
It's a book being written on these chats, man. We writing a book, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, I thank y'all for the knowledge y'all sharing. I promise you, I do.
Audio book, baby.
I swear to God, I see the story being written right now in real time. I appreciate it. If anybody or nobody ever told y'all that, I'm gonna tell you. I really appreciate what y'all is doing and what y'all have taught me.
Much love. We still learning. Everybody is still learning.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's things that I know that I still gotta learn again. You know what I mean? So
I done met some of the best dog men off of Buck City. And I appreciate him for that, bro. I really do. The brother put in a lot of hard work. People don't understand how hard it is to do this shit and maintain day-to-day life, period, bro.
Real talk.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love it. And especially how bro came.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man.
Turning the new page. Buck turning that new page and
he rewriting history too.
Hey, man, they can say what they want about Buck, but everybody got a chance. Everybody got a chance to turn a new leaf. Everybody got a chance to be better.
Know one thing.
You know what I mean?
Brother's solid. Don't be fuck.
As long as you solid and you ain't no snitch and you ain't no motherfucking turnover. You know what I mean? Hey, you got a chance to be better in life. Fuck what they talk about.
You better believe it. You better believe it. You actually could do better.
And shout out Borderlands
than you was before. See,
exactly.
Let adversity turn you into a better person.
Real talk.
I think that's
talk.
even better than, let's say I went under 15 feet and I came back up to the surface, but now, with my mind and elevation and, just my team around me has created a better person and a better,
Yes, sir.
all better
Realness don't
situation.
die, Buck. Realness stay on.
Like we on
living.
volume 2,
Yeah.
we dropping magazines and shit.
You're gonna be a
This
legend,
ain't
brother.
really something that's been done. We just can't say, that that's been done like this though. So
I know one thing. I
from
know how
a
much hard work
YouTube
you put in.
channel and everybody that fuck with us, like I owe it all to y'all, just to all the support and
Yes, sir.
encouragement, and that magazine is our voice.
Yeah.
They just can't come to your yard and say that your yard was like this or like that, because you could call APBT magazine and let APBT magazine know what really happened. You feel me? So
100%.
we're the voice for you.
The voice of the
we already
kennels.
know it's gonna be some bullshit, and we're gonna point as much of that bullshit out as we can, so that when the tree huggers get a hold of this shit, they could look at it for what it is. There's yard accidents that happen every day, man. You can't just go on somebody's yard and just say they fighting dogs, bro.
No, you can't.
Do some more investigation. Find that man in the box.
And they see one fucking scratch and they think something. Here go your story.
Exactly.
Tell it.
Shit. Flies could have been eating up his ear. They talking about, oh, the dog had injuries and scars. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I swear to God, you ain't
a fly
lying.
eating his fucking ear up, you dumb
I
motherfucker.
I've seen that up north.
We just talk about rimming the shit for a half an hour.
Yep.
You didn't hear that? So this is the channel that they're gonna get that, right?
Hey.
And they're gonna get it raw, and we don't give a fuck. Like I said, this channel ain't even monetized. We don't give a fuck about all that. We ain't worried about that. We're looking at the bigger picture. I want to sell 100,000 fucking magazines. I want to sell 1 million magazines.
That checklist gonna get checked off, my brother.
Yeah, so volume 3 is coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Volume 2 will be out, man, in the next couple of days, man. You guys stay tuned. It's gonna be popping. I said, no pre-orders or not. We ain't doing that shit. I saw one of the curs in the community doing that shit. I said, you know what? Fuck that. We ain't gonna do that shit, man.
We ain't gonna do none of that.
The shit gonna be out, and we already working on volume 3.
It's
soon as I get up off of here, we're gonna do some shit.
Dirk, the voice of the streets. Buck, the voice of the kennels. Shit. For sure, bro. And make sure y'all check y'all chain spots too. It's summertime.
Yeah, check them chain spots. Chain spots, that's essential. You got some good blood on your yard. You want to preserve it.
Yeah.
So you don't want them jokers to get loose, because we know what will happen. And most and foremost, even before the dog's health, we got to worry about, a motherfucker trying to incriminate us and shit. Just because of yard accident or a dog. Oh, they fighting dogs over there. Dog busted out the cage and they fighting. Now we fighting dogs. We fighting, but we think they a part of something.
Yes, sir.
Enough is enough.
Hey, and hit up Kraken for them studs. It's happening this summer. While it's near
you better get on, because it's gonna be getting real bougie around. It's gonna be getting real bougie. And them prices gonna be jacked up, high as giraffe pussy. So
all I can say is don't hurt your feet kicking them tires.
Real tough.
Yeah, them tires. I mean, you just gotta watch it. If you're not intending on doing no business, just don't waste no time.
Yep.
For real. You know how many people I hang up on every day?
If you got intention, if you got intention, that's one thing. But sometimes dudes just really don't got no intention.
You don't even want no it out. You figure it out.
You could just send a text message to find out how much something is. You don't gotta tire kick a motherfucker all the way. You ain't gotta
send me 50
all the way, bro.
It
help you change the tire and everything.
This is what I got. This is what I got. This is what I'm running.
You help me change the tire.
Change the tire. Goddamn.
If you wouldn't have kicked my shit, it wouldn't have been fucked up.
Bro, where's in a pothole?
Right, man. They hear my dial tone every day. They say as soon as they say something stupid,
Bro, you
I
already know
pause.
off rip
I
from the
pause for 2
conversation
seconds.
starting.
I find that red button on my phone and I hit that motherfucker.
And then they get the block and they like, what the fuck just happened?
All you got to do is say one stupid thing, and your ass is out of there.
Man,
You know,
motherfuckers
that
be
comes to a
fishing
point. That's come to a point to where you don't give a damn about no money. You
because it
don't
ain't
give a
about
damn
that.
about no money. You feed your dogs. You maintenance. You got enough money to maintain your yard. You're a
You
happy
good.
man.
You
You know
Gucci.
what I mean? You're a happy man
You got your trophies and others just want it.
for sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
cracking is cracking, fellas.
man. Stand on business, man. You know,
If you're gonna do it, put your foot on their neck
yeah. If
and
you're
be
gonna
about
be
it.
a showman, if you're gonna be, stay in your lane, do the best what you can do, man. Even in track and field, you can't run all the fucking events, right?
Not at all.
I think
You
some
got
motherfuckers,
recovery time.
do
Shit.
this and that. You can't run them all. I mean, some people. I think what was that? Michael Phelps. He was he was doing a lot of but
Yeah.
he ain't running track and swimming. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but I bet he using a lot of Bengay right now.
He uses a lot of big.
He got the body hurt, won't recover on time. No, he got the money to maintain it. But yeah, don't be a tire kicker.
Tire kickers awareness.
Yes, sir.
Melee, what up, brother?
Shout
Big
out to the
C,
rear.
Cortland
Yes, sir.
Ross. Man, everybody, man. None of this content is used for illegal purposes.
Nope.
Betterment of the breed. That's all we doing, man.
Education.
That's all we here for. You guys want to say something before we dip?
Yeah, I can say a little something. Like I said, check your chain spots. It's summertime. APBT magazine volume 2 coming out any day. And then if you need a great stud, hit up Kraken, because once it's done, it's done. And
Yeah,
then,
now if they in North Carolina, you better tap in. I'm
yeah.
telling you now.
And then
You
you
guys
said
better tap
Indiana.
in.
Also, you said something about Indiana
exactly.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there you go.
exactly.
Midwest.
Hey, you
East
got
Coast.
that Jagger dog, man. That's crazy. That's a nice little stud right there. He's getting up there too, huh? Oh, he out of there.
I don't know if he might be on mute.
No, he ain't on mute.
Yeah. That dog is nice, bro. Period. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good look. For that blood,
Yeah.
He's looking for that blood. That's a good one. Then there'd be a lot of dudes I could just really just connect the dots for him. Just, hey man, he's a good guy. Sometimes they just need somebody to vouch
for sure. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. That's how you avoid all the bullshit.
Hey man, you guys stay up.
And blessed too.
Please stay up. Oh, there you go. He back.
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hey, man, I heard a little bit of what y'all was saying, what y'all was talking about, the Jagger dog.
Yeah, Jagger, yeah.
Yes, sir. I got him on my yard. He looking good, nice and healthy, still athletic.
Well, he like 8 or 9 right now.
Yeah, Jagger 9 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell my guy he got to get something down there, man. ASAP.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
It's actually a real nice one that's in heat right now. I'm gonna send you the ped. I think you'll like it. Like it.
Come on up. I got him on all the good old sperm up. I got him on all that stuff, man.
Yeah, this one, it's gonna go perfect with that shit, bro. Absolutely perfect, bro.
History being
her
rewritten.
ass is in heat right now. That's crazy. It's just distance and time,
Yeah, I know how that go. Hey,
but it might not be too far, depending, we'll figure it out,
Hell yeah, I'm doing
Hey, it's all about networking, you guys. Janae Johnson, salute.
Can you hear
Everybody,
me?
man, that pulled
Yeah,
up.
we hear you, fam.
I'm doing
It's
some
all about
traveling.
networking. You
I
know,
got a few moves to make too, and I'm gonna be on the road. So if I need to throw him in a crate and do some driving, shit, I might be passing one of those states. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
hey,
Holla
now
at
let me
bro.
know. Let me know when you do that too. Let me know when
Yes.
you do that too.
That's a bet. And
Because yeah, you already know. Just let me know.
I
Let
want to
me
ask a
know.
question to the chat though. It's during this time of the year, you know, when that heat is happening and that heat is hot outside. Um, do y'all have any remedies for like dogs that have experienced heat strokes or anything like that, or do y'all just
Oh,
kind of
that's a
let it,
good, great question.
or do y'all just kind of let it die over, or kind of let it, you know, marinate
Oh, say that again.
during these months, you know, with the heat and everything?
Right.
Are there any remedies that y'all use for dogs that have experienced heat strokes and stuff like that? Or do you guys kind of just let it die over?
That's a good one.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I
If
know
a dog
somebody in
had
the
a heat
chat
stroke, I'm putting his ass inside.
for
You
Yeah.
sure.
know,
For sure.
I'm gonna put him in an area where that shit's not gonna get over. Like, shit, it ain't gonna get
Because they
hot at
do get
all.
about 120, 125 over there.
For sure. You
Do
know,
it.
I
Yeah.
use for
Where
my
he at? Yeah.
for my dog's water bowls, I go
It
get
get that
either
hot?
big
That's crazy.
for sure. I go get big coolers or I go get big plant pots. So my dogs can, if it gets too hot, they can jump and basically take a bath. You know, they can jump right inside
Yeah.
that motherfucker and chill if they want to.
My
You know,
homegirl made a bowl. Well, she took a bowl and put a bunch of like berries in it, different types of fruit, and she froze it and she gives it to her dog. Like she'll break
yeah,
some of it off and give it to her dog every like 3 hours
for
if
sure.
she can't keep them outside.
Yeah, that's lit. I'm gonna show y'all my little what I use for water bowls real quick. Hold on. These joints right here, these flower pots right here.
I ain't.
I've
Oh no
noticed
shit.
I've noticed that the dogs don't even really want to chew them. Well, my dogs don't, you know. But the dogs can jump in here if they want to. They can bathe. They can chill out. They
Well,
can
the
you
motherfucker
know
knew exactly what you was talking about. Jump right in it.
they can enjoy themselves. They can feel good when it's hot outside. You know.
Yeah.
But I try to
Oh
keep
no, that's cool.
you know
Yeah, that's
it's
sweet.
cool. It makes it
Yeah,
cool, but
that's cool.
it helps prevent them. You know.
That's
And
cool.
they'll jump in there. They'll bathe. They'll chill out in there. Sometimes I'll come out. They'll be laying in it. You know. So.
No, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah,
For
but
sure. You know, and I know a lot of people got really destructible dogs, but you can outline those in concrete too. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can take a what do
Mold
they
it.
call it, a scaffold or you know, and put the concrete around it and let it dry. You know,
Yeah.
so
dude,
you
get the
know there's
mister. I mean, if you got kennels, I've seen people with nice kennel runs, lined up. You could
for
put the
sure.
misters,
Yep.
you
The
know.
misters. Yep. Yes,
Those
sir.
is those is working. I seen yards with those. They need that shit. They had a lot of
I
dogs.
ain't
I seen
never thought
about
about that
50
shit. That shit's
dogs.
crazy. You said misters. So they missed in the whole area where the dog at. That's sweet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that, them
Yeah, man.
flower pots might be the thing to do.
Yes, sir. And you know, for the destructive dogs, just concrete them out. You know, and
Yeah.
if you can afford the little sprinkler systems, do use those. You know, and set them on timers. You know, they come on a few times a day and shit like that. You know,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Cortland Ross, hit me on the back street. I'll let you know. Hannibal, he's ready. Hannibal, he's getting up there in age too. He's 8 years old, 8 and
Hannibal
some
Lecter
change.
Yes,
look
You
good.
know,
sir.
Motherfucker look good.
he got to, I definitely got to get some breedings off of him because me personally, I don't have the breeding, in my opinion, this is just me talking. The replica of him has not been made. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know,
It make a lot of
he
sense.
made some great dogs. He made great dogs here or there, but the
You ain't got
replica
his
of
evil
him,
twin.
of his twin. He doesn't have that. So, and then when they get 8 years old and shit, 8.5, you start to worry. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, is he gonna make it through the summer? Is he gonna, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely on the front of my list to try to hook something up and get that done.
For sure.
You gonna hey, all I can say is cracking is cracking.
Yes, sir. Hey, Big C, that Jagger dog, he's down off of that Croata stuff. He's triple bred
He
Croata,
looked just like Croata
62.5% Crow right there up front. So yeah, he's a heavy bred Crow dog.
with that big ass head.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy because a lot of people they say that most of my dogs look like Crow dogs, but they're not even. Most of them aren't Crow dogs, So we kind of carry that look anyways.
Hey, maybe they just adapt to their surroundings.
It's just that combination that they use. We use
Yeah.
the same combination. The Billy was running a certain combination. It's kind of like what we doing over here, anyways. So the dogs kind of fade.
Them results is fire though. I'll tell you that.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. Lou Kane. Yeah, hit me on the back street, man. Hit me on that back street, man. I know a lot of good dudes, man. I could send them your way or something. You know what I'm saying? They interested. Uh, get that magazine too. Get the
Yes,
first
sir.
one. We still selling them. They ain't gonna stop.
No.
Even 5 years from now, if the Lord's willing, you want the first one, hey, come get them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
Hey,
have a bunch out more than that. You can come
if you
get back
advertising,
issues, all that shit. You say
if you
what, brother?
advertising them studs this year, man, get you some of this stuff right here. The
What's
CF
that?
the CF plus stuff right here for fertility.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
hey,
that shit's cool.
this stuff is golden, man. I put Jagger on this stuff, and I got a litter of 10 puppies from him. You know what I mean? I've been using it for a while, man. You can use it on your females. It helps regulates their cycles, and it helps your males if they have low fertility. This is just the way to go. Also, it battles any urine infections, anything like that your dog's got. This is the stuff, CF plus, and it's from the ICSB sperm bank people. You could get it. You can order it right online. 500
Yes, sir.
tablets. Yes, sir. 500 tablets. Good stuff.
Elected
Yes,
just dropped.
sir.
Those and two females, he said. No
Yes,
man's
sir. Hey,
eclectic.
the back street. The back streets, what it is. You know, it's out here. It's out here, man. You don't gotta go get beat over the head. You got good dudes with good bred dogs, good old dogs. We're not trying to make grandpas at 2.5 and shit. We're just not doing that. I feel that age comes before beauty. My dad always told me that. Like when I was with my grandpa and shit. It's me, him, and my grandpa. He would always let my grandpa go first. Age comes before beauty.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? So, um, let's cherish some of these old guys that's out here. There's old ass dogs that, they're gonna be done. Their whole little section's gonna be done. So
I
why
got a
would you go
question, bro.
breed to a little young ass dog when you could breed to an old dinosaur?
Yes, sir. What do you at what age is the dog's sperm count the best?
They say
Like what's the
when
best
he's
time to
young.
breed them?
They
Yeah.
say when he's young, it's the best.
How about for females? What's the best age like as far as when you think you're gonna get anywhere to 9 puppies, 7 puppies, and shit like that? Or does that just that's
I
on the
don't
male?
even think that matters. I mean,
Yeah.
I think once she's past, let's say 8, you know, for most bitches, it could probably decline, even like around 6. You
Right.
could see a major decline in some bitches, but I don't think that matters.
Got you.
I've seen there's been a lot of bitches that had bigger litters when they were younger, and just kind of never was able to peak off
Right.
that number ever again, but there's a lot of factors that go into it. Most of it's the female. Very little bit of sperm can fertilize 100 eggs. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it's a lot of times it's not on the male.
So it's on the female, right?
Yeah, the female, if she's producing a certain amount of eggs, that's it. Like, if she gonna
And how
produce four
healthy.
to 6 eggs, this is the type of bitch you got. That's why I say genetics play a big part. Like, I would hold a bitch in high regard, even if, let's say she dropped a 12 piece. I will hold her in high regard. I will hold her mama in high regard because she's producing bitches that have that many eggs.
Right.
Right. Some dogs do not produce 10 eggs, 8 eggs. That's why you have those small litters.
Right.
Bitch got 2 puppies, 3, 4. She give you 5. Oh shit.
I've never seen a 2, but I've seen like a 4.
No, I seen ones.
That's crazy, bro.
It's produced
Is that because
one
of the
puppy
inbreeding,
multiple
or
times. You said what?
could that possibly be from inbreeding?
No, because she threw an 8-pack. You know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
do 2 1-packs,
Yeah.
and then the bitch threw a fucking 8-pack, so I can't say it was inbreeding, right? At that point, she was pretty tight. She was line bred. She was kind of tight line bred, bitch,
Right.
She comes from a line of dogs that produce a lot of eggs. You get a larger size litters from them dogs. I think it's without saying, if you get a bitch from anything that I fuck with, that bitch is gonna be fertile, because that's a trait that I hold in high regard,
Yeah.
fertility and being able to produce, because that's how if you're gonna build an army or you building a goddamn nation, you're gonna need more than a motherfucker that just produced 2 goddamn puppies at a time.
No, for sure. For sure.
I know that, especially if you're starting a kennel. You're gonna need bitches to throw a 10-pack every now and then and a 7-pack. You know what I'm saying? You need those.
Selective breeding is important too, bro.
You got more options. I got 7
100%.
puppies. I could
Yeah.
keep 2 or 3 and still sell a couple and farm out a couple. That's a whole lot. I just said right there.
I ain't
You
gonna
get
lie.
2 puppies, you're not talking that long. You just
I ain't gonna lie.
oh, me and
I
my
ain't gonna
partner.
lie.
It takes 2 seconds.
I'm so used to having about 4 to 7. Man, I dropped 10 a few weeks ago. Man, I got
Yeah.
depressed.
No, it's options though. But if you think about it, you got options. That shit might take you days before you figure
Bro,
out
you got a
what
nice
the fuck
hand.
you gonna do with all them motherfuckers. Shit.
Real talk.
You got options,
You got different type of genetics in each one. I mean, not genetics, different type of traits in each one that you can utilize later on if you need to.
For sure.
And then let's say you pass on a female from that litter, and then she goes on and gives you the motherfuckers two 8-packs, a 10-pack, and a 9-pack. Like that. That's a good bitch. That's what I'm thinking. Everybody think other shit. Oh, fuck this bitch.
Trying to tell you,
This
my
bitch
bitch
got too
dropped
many
10.
puppies.
My bitch dropped 10 and she kept all 10. We 2 weeks in now. She kept all 10.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. And it, it goes to the how you keeping up with them and attending to them too. But
I probably
sometimes
went
it
in
ain't
there.
all on the mom. Sometimes we be helping them like a motherfucker. You know what
Real
I'm saying?
talk.
Like,
This bitch, I probably touched her puppies once or twice so far in 2 weeks. Real talk.
How does
This
she
bitch-
react to it?
Oh, she don't give a damn. She cool
She
with
know
it.
you
but
gonna be good with
she's inside though too though. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, she's
saying?
inside. She's a great mom.
You know what I'm
She's
saying?
comfortable.
That right
Yeah, that's a
there
big
is
difference.
She's
you're
comfortable
like
for sure.
That's like an insurance company right there.
For
You know,
sure.
like here,
For
you're
sure.
inside.
Yeah.
You
Bring
know what
them
I'm
Can't
dogs
make
saying?
in
that
if you can.
mistake.
You know,
You're
bring
getting
them
all
in.
the good shit, all the
Get them out of that
peaceful.
environment. Yep.
You know, I'm playing classical shit,
Oh yeah.
Beethoven,
That's what I'm talking about.
motherfucking Armadale.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk up in my shit, it's Scarface up in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You hear the music,
Yeah.
motherfucker?
Hey, it's a blessing when
You
you
got
get
the
those.
Godfather music playing in the background and shit.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
a big blessing when you get those moms that don't mind being moms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, right.
It's a big
Them
blessing. You
them the
know.
ones that gonna create some of the best dogs, bro.
Real talk.
For real, for real.
Smart, real smart dogs, man.
Yeah. The most I've ever had was 9.
Okay.
Yeah, 9. And they were some great fucking dogs, bro.
Well, what if I told you I had 19 before?
I believe it.
I had 18 before. I had 18. My bitch
That's
Miss
fucking
J
sick,
dropped
but
18
how was
puppies.
she able to walk? How was the what?
She was a monster. That bitch was a monster. She was, you know, she would sit at 50 pounds if I let her.
Man, bro, y'all said
She
18,
dropped the
19.
18
I
pack.
thought you was gonna say 12, maybe 13. You said
No,
18,
this bitch, this
19.
was the biggest litter I ever seen in my life. This was a fucking, well, matter of fact, I saw Rottweilers that did that. Rottweiler
Yeah, but
did
they
like
a lot bigger
18.
than pit bulls. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying? They
still, I'm
about
just
20,
saying,
30
like the
pounds heavier.
most dogs I ever seen out of any litter, any dog, that was it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's sick though. That is sick. How did she take that pregnancy? Was it harsh on her or was it like smooth like all the
she was
rest
a
of them?
soldier, bro. That bitch was a
Yeah.
soldier. She was one of my best bitches.
She just ain't give a fuck.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck, bro.
Hood
She
rat.
was big. We thought she was big. You know, we was thinking like, 10, 12,
Yeah.
but we wasn't nowhere imagining. I
Damn.
never thought that was even possible, honestly.
Like
Bro, you guys just fucked me up right now.
like Buck said, it's on the owner too. You know, when them dogs have those big litters like that, it's on the owner to be able to get those dogs out of there with them and get them their own time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
my bitch that just dropped 10, like she
Won't that
goes
kill her
out,
too? Like
huh?
if they do it wrong?
What?
As far as like her pushing them babies out and you not being there for that. Can that
Oh
have an
man.
effect on her?
I mean, depending on what type of mom
No.
she is. Some dogs is on autopilot. They do it by themselves. They like with this bitch that I got, her mom was born, her grandmother was born in that same pool.
Right.
So it's at this point, it's memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's memory. They were born in that same room in that same pool. So they remember what
They know what it is.
it's instinct. It just comes to them naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
Now
that's a big
the pool is great, bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen a few people
The
use the
pool
pool.
is great. It's a
Yeah.
great environment.
Yeah.
They
A lot of
like
space.
see, people don't understand. You got to look at the behavior of a bitch. She wants a smooth surface when she drops those babies.
Of course.
She wants that.
And
Like a
like you
lot of
say, you
people
don't
try
want
to
no
put
dogs barking and shit
cedar
around
in
her.
there and all this shit.
Make it comfortable.
Don't want to do that.
Getting those moms away from those pups throughout the day is very important. She
Yeah.
needs a break. Give her a area where she can get away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not forced to feed them for 24 hours a day. Let her out, let her stretch her legs, let her get back to her activities, let her run the chain if she wants to. You know what I mean? I let mine do all that
When do you
during
introduce them to the father? Or do
introduce the
you?
puppies.
Yeah.
Never.
I was gonna say. I was just wondering because some people
Yeah.
have done that
Yeah,
that
no,
mistake, but you
mines
got
will never
different.
know their daddy.
Yeah. And that's because you don't know how that daddy's gonna react.
Yeah, for sure.
He said never. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
kicking some knowledge, bro. We learned a lot today. A lot.
Much love. Much love, man. I'm about to go punch this clock, man. So I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all for coming and supporting the chat as always. Buck is doing big things over here. Smash that like button. Go grab that magazine because it's gonna have straight heat in there. So much knowledge is gonna be in that magazine, man. You know, he's setting a new wave, a new tempo for our community. You know, keep on supporting y'all. That's all we got is us. You know what I mean? Much love. I'll catch y'all in a sec.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, tap in if you guys are writers. You guys gonna be pulling up at some of these shows. If you guys, can get out there, make yourself available.
Man, I'm still sick about that.
I've been talking to a couple of my brothers, and now we gonna spread this thing out a little bit more. We're just gonna get the growth, just gradually grow. That way we can cover all the bases. But now we're definitely trying to target the whole world with this movement, and with everybody working together, we're definitely gonna get there. So tap in, man. I'm trying to get distributors, people, I want to tap in that we could be privately pulling up at shows with magazines and all that shit. We can't be everywhere at the same time, but we can be everywhere for sure.
Right.
That's a fact. So tap in, man. There's a lot of opportunities and different things that we can get into. We'll talk about what's going on. Who knows? I might promote your stud in the next one or something. You never know, man. The network is just gonna keep growing. Ain't nobody really worried about failing. Nobody just wakes up, thinking that we're gonna fail. We always shoot for the stars every single day.
Yes,
and that's what we do, man. We aim for the fucking stars every day.
Be motivated. Yep.
That's it, though. That's it, man. Appreciate everybody that pulled up. Appreciate you, Prophet, my brother. Hit me on that back street, man. It's gonna be a back street kind of day, man. Phone's charged up, everything's charged up. Hit me on the back street, y'all.
I'll hit you in about an hour.
Stay blessed. And
shit.
We out.
100.
Beats by the bird.
Murder on a beat. 150,000, 1,500 hundreds can't fit in my trousers. 200 of them bubble gums finna crop next week off top. I bleed the block and I pull up in a drop. Rockstar, I told heavy metal. I'm straight out the gutter by the sewer, yeah, the ghetto. Cold blooded like Rick James. Yeah, I spit flames. Thanking God every day since this shit changed. Bismillah, yeah, I made it out. Giving attention, motivation, education, yeah, this shit game. Staying on my pivot, not to mention. Watch these hoes stay on your toes and never trust these bitches. I went from a cutlass to a fiscal. And I don't do the gram, baby, keep me out your mentions. I would never fold, I know niggas that done told. I got money in the attic, it's so old, it's about to mold.
In the hottest section with weapons and cocaine. 17 in the streets, hotter than propane. I'm on my toes, watch these hoes with bifocal frame. I been on these niggas' head like a migraine. In the hottest section with weapons and cocaine. 17 in the streets, hotter than propane. On my toes while she's hoes with bifocal frames. Suicide doors on them, Kurt Cobain.
In your section, I be reppin' while I'm flexing. 50,000 on my necklace. What's the question now? Kurt Cobain, I blew the brains in the drop head. Free my nigga out the feds, let me pop. I like propane. Yeah, I'm hot as a torch. Give me the ball, yeah, and watch how I score. 13 when I hopped off the porch. By 17, I was up on the court. I keep a weapon for protection. Don't get aggressive, I shoot like a missile. I'm trilled to the bone, all the way to the gristle. Kurt Cobain, yeah, suicide door. I'ma get it steep, hell, rain, or snow. Know I'm talking about sticking to the code, I don't know no other way. I'ma bleed the block, nigga, to God, open them gates, huh? Money, pound, ammunition, free that nigga long way. They call me streets, I'm really in these streets, like the song say.
In the hottest section with weapons and cocaine. 17 in the streets, hotter than propane. I'm on my toes, watch these hoes with bifocal frame. I've been on these niggas' head like a migraine. In the hottest section with weapons and cocaine. 17 in the streets, hotter than propane.
Shots, then we bouncing out. Ay, chop a dish or two, I chop them out. Ay, we been popping out. Ay, get your ass whacked for what you talking about. Shoot shots, then we bouncing out. Ay, chop a dish or two, I chop them out. Ay, we been popping out. Ay, get your ass whacked for what you talking about. Niggas talking like they drillin', but I know they ain't. No stripes in the damn hood, you ain't never rank. Fuck a peace treaty, I ain't never tryna moderate. I be starving for this beef shit like I ain't never ate. I know you don't want this, cause I've been navigating through these streets, don't need no compass. On some dumb shit, put a foe a bit of sun kiss. Bullets hit your back, couple inches from your bows this. Had to switch it up, you gon' need help. Had an ambulance come pick you up, you ain't seen this. Fast like Uber, how I'm pulling up. And I ain't talking an empty tank when I come and fill you up. Shoot shots, then we bouncing out. Ay, chop a dish or two, I chop them out. Ay, we been popping out. Ay, get your ass whacked for what you talking about. Shoot shots, then we bouncing out. Ay, chop a dish or two, I chop them out. Ay, we been popping out. Ay, get your ass whacked for what you talking about.
Your ass whack for what you talk about. White, chalk 'em out. 4-4 bulldog, get me barking loud. Blow out your eardrum. Why you want to smoke? You real dumb. You wanna feel something? Then take these shots, nigga. I'll kill some. We in the field hunting for them ops about to drill something. I got a little something. Set my gun connect, that's real money. My nigga crash dummy. He never hesitate to blast for me. And all my hoes work, and they don't hesitate to get cash to me. That's what it's supposed to do. I run with the chosen few. Big gun, but we popping out, and we got the exposure crew. No doubt, white chalk a nigga out. Shoulda put run in your mouth, run in your house, shoot your spouse, brain matter on the couch.
Shoot shots, then we bouncing out. Ay, chop a dish or two, I chop them out. Ay, we been popping out. Ay, get your ass whacked for what you talking about. Shoot shots, then we bouncing out.